Welcome to Watson Stadium. This is Ty friend Ron Gunner with you and Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Hobbs Eagle football, first home game of the season, and it's going to be Military Appreciation Night, First Responders Night as well. So if you have veterans and first responders in the family, make sure they're here at the game to be recognized throughout. Hobbs and Roswell going to go head-to-head. First game again here at Watson Stadium. Eagles been on some road trips the past 2 weeks. Of course, Artesia last week and opened up the season with the win over Clovis. So we'll talk about that at the pregame show at 6:45. Right now, just doing the voice check, getting you ready for all the technical side of this football game. Let me turn over to Ron to check his mic.
All right, doing a mic check. Going to be covering this game tonight. Starts at 6:45 is about when we're going to do the pregame. Also going to be on KPER. Sorry, not KPER. I was looking at the sign behind me. Cool, 95.7. So sit back, relax if you can't get here because it's going to be a crowded event. A lot of people are going to be here, and we're going to give you the best game possible. Once again, Hobbs Eagle football going to be brought to you here in just a moment. Pregame going to start in a few.
Welcome, everyone, to Watson Stadium. Time for Hobbs Eagle football, live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty, friend Ron Gunner with you. Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Finally, Ron, the first home game of the season for the Hobbs Eagles. Of course, a tough battle last week with Artesia, loss on the road. Started off the season in Clovis, so some little road trip action for the Hobbs Eagles up to this point. But it's always nice to come home, being able to sleep in that bed and kind of getting up from school and not having to jump on the bus for 2 or 3 hours like Hobbs is used to doing throughout the season. But let's talk about this game tonight. Roswell coming in pretty tough, 2-0. One of the tougher teams around the state. Eagles play them every year. They're stepped down in division, at least in football. At the same time, this is kind of a measuring stick here for the Hobbs Eagles, trying to show people they still have some potent stuff out on the field, even though Artesia did a pretty good job of defeating them there at the Bulldog Bowl.
Yeah, Coach was talking about the fact that it looked like it was a different team between the first and the second. Hobbs just unable to get past themselves, as well as the penalties and the fumbles, the interceptions, all that just caused them more trouble than it was worth. And definitely they want to go ahead and see if they can get past that and move on and improve against this Roswell team.
42-6, the final in that game. Unfortunately, a mercy rule contest. Hobbs finally did score in the fourth quarter to get on the scoreboard, which definitely was something they wanted to do before leaving Artesia. Brock Beatty, of course, he was the quarterback in that contest. Went 16 of 30 in the air, a total of one touchdown for him. 172 yards passing, but 3 interceptions that you mentioned. Definitely an issue because Artesia is a team that likes to take advantage of turnovers, and when the blood comes out, they're going to be on top of it like a shark.
Definitely will. They look like they've improved over especially last season, when we know that Hobbs came in and beat them 51-7. I don't expect anything like that this time. And it looks like that Coyotes, the Roswell has won the toss. They're going to receive the ball, and they're going to be on the south side of the field to start off.
This is a military appreciation night and first responders as well. We have a lot of firemen and policemen and military veterans here, so that's pretty exciting to celebrate them while we are having a football game. We mentioned last week's game with Artesia. Artesia is very stellar. I mean, they're going to be having some fun with a lot of teams they play this year, but the 3 interceptions cost the Eagles in that game. In terms of the rushing contest, 126 is what the numbers were for the Eagles in that one. Kennedy had 2 carries for 48, Armandaris 17 carries for 39, and Hawkes 2 carries for 22. So those 3, the majority of the rushes for the Hobbs Eagles. So 172 in the pass game, 126 in the run game. Eagles with 298 yards, and that's not horrible numbers, although they did lose the ball game pretty steadily. But really, it's at least they got some offensive production out of that game. The passing department's a big step up from Zach Salcido. He was just a JV player last year and wanted an opportunity to show something here at the varsity level. 6 catches against Artesia for 69 yards and a touchdown, had a long of 29. So he definitely has upped his ante just a bit in the receiving core for the Eagles. Hawkes had 5 catches for 50 yards, a 26-yarder involved in that. Franklin, 3 for 36 and a 32-yarder, and Kennedy, 2 for 17. So it seems like the last few years, Ron, quite a few good receivers in the core. It's kind of been balanced, though. We've seen different guys stepping up in different games last year, but this year we're going to have a good balance of guys that have a chance to catch the football. But again, definitely have to be effective and moving the ball down the field and keep a hold of that football, not cough it up.
Yeah, and I've watched Roswell play. They played last week against Santa Fe, and it looked pretty easy, simple, especially when you have a defense that is giving you the ball again and again, especially in deep in their own territory. Made them easy to get a couple of extra touchdowns against that Santa Fe squad. But, I don't expect to see easiness on either side. They both know each other pretty well. In fact, actually, the record is overall for the series is 35-18. Hobbs on the lead on that one. Also, 16-12 in the last 18 games. So Hobbs has a good feel for Roswell. But, again, this is a different Roswell team, and I think they're going to come out strong and see if they can test this Hobbs defense and see if they can push them around or see what their secondary is going to be able to do against this quarterback for the Roswell Coyotes.
Although the Eagles did give up 42 yards last week, there are some guys that stepped up defensively. Carlos Jimenez, he had 10 tackles. 6 of those were solos by himself and had the one interception in the ball game. Tristan Davis, 9 tackles, 7 solos, 1 for a loss in the backfield. Zach McPherson, 7 tackles with 5 of those solos. And Diaz Castro had 7 tackles with 6 of those for the solo situation. And then Canyon Johnson with 6 tackles along with Hill. So lots of guys stepping up, especially the linebacking core. Tough road to hoe there with that Artesia team, though. They like to spread the receivers out, but they also went to the running game quite a bit too. I mean, they definitely, more rushing yardage than they had passing yardage, which is not really the numbers that you usually see for Artesia.
Yeah, it is, and they just ended up being a running game, just like I saw last night when I watched Jow. They're very much a very running game, a running team, and most teams that Hobbs does face ends up being a running team. One of the reasons why is because it's a lot less likely to get a fumble, and you're a lot more likely to get an interception if you just throw in either an errant pass or just are off just by a little bit. It doesn't take much to get that interception. So most teams play it safe, they play it conservative, as they say, and they run because most people can get a couple of extra yards. They don't have to worry about fumbles, interceptions, and it moves the ball downfield. That's what you want to do. You just don't have to worry about any kind of mishaps, any turnovers. And less turnovers, of course, the more chances you get to score.
Artesia with 536 yards in that game last week. Definitely big numbers. 291 rush, 245 pass. But I think that's old game out the window. We're going on, moving on further here for the Roswell Coyotes. You mentioned Roswell with their win last week over Santa Fe, 58-6. The final on that one was completely in their control from the start of the contest to the finish. Previous week to open up the season, they got by Lovington. They were up big for quite a bit of that ball game. Lovington came back a little bit late in the contest, but Roswell ended up winning that one as well, 45-18. So they've outscored their two opponents, 103-24. Pretty dominant Roswell team.
Yeah, they are, and that's, again, something that I know the coach has addressed already. He has seen the films. He knows what this Roswell team can do. It's just a matter of getting the Hobbs offense and the defense on the same page and being able to move the ball downfield for the offense and for the defense to be able to stop them, maybe even get a couple of interceptions. Of course, the other thing that we always talk about besides special teams is the yellow yellow flag. We're going to want to see them being dropped more for Roswell and less for us. But again, it's going to be a fair contest on both sides. We don't want to see it just thrown just because it's Roswell. But you got to avoid that laundry so you can move down the field. Every time you move back a little bit, it kind of slows down your momentum, and it's like you're working against the opponent as well as yourself, and you really don't want to do that.
Eagles will be working against quarterback Manny Fuentes, and then the win against Lovington. Of the 3 rushing touchdowns the Coyotes got, 2 of those, one from Fuentes for 1 yard and 28 yards. So definitely have to watch him on the radar there as a very versatile quarterback. Bryce Sanchez, one of their fullbacks there, he had an 11-yard touchdown against Lovington. So those 2 guys will be doing a lot of the running for this Roswell team. But against Santa Fe, they had a whole slew of people involved. In fact, 6 different running backs getting touchdowns in that ball game from the backfield. Sanchez had 2 of those, a 3 and a 31-yarder. Fuentes, Tabano, Gaudai, V-Hill, and a couple other ones too. So lots of people getting a chance to get a piece of the leather there. Hobbs has got to be ready for that. Some good legs in the backfield for Roswell. Passing game isn't that big at this point, but they did get some scores against Lovington. 3 touchdown passes in that one. Toscana was one of them. Segala got another as well, and Kenwood too. And then also tight end Mitchell in the second game against Santa Fe also caught a touchdown pass from 7 yards out. So, again, there are some receivers out there, but I think Roswell kind of want to move the ball on the ground a little bit to see what can open up in the passing game, which is what some coaches like to do.
Exactly. And like you said, they've got at least 3 or 4 different people that can run the ball. And not only that, but they're fast, they're efficient, and they're good. Some of them I've seen, once they get the line open, they can break it out, get into the secondary, and even go further. I've seen some of them go 60 yards to make a touchdown. So, yeah, they're hard to grab. They're hard to get. All you have to do for the defense is, of course, wrap them up by the legs. And no runner, in my opinion, can run once you get that done.
The stellar number from that Roswell-Santa Fe game, they had 5 touchdowns in the first quarter, did Roswell, in 9 plays.
Right.
They were up by mercy rule in the first quarter. Now, the last couple of seasons, the mercy rule clock will run even in the first half. They used to let it wait until the second half, but now it runs in the first half, and they still were able to beat the big win 58-6. Let's look at the Hobbs Eagle numbers so far this season. Of course, a new quarterback coming in, the junior from Carlsbad, and has had a couple of games under his belt now, Brock Beatty. Total of 344 yards so far. He's completed 53% of his passes at this point and has thrown for 4 touchdowns. So he's been hitting about the half mark in both games in terms of completions. Has a lot of people to throw to, and of course, Jaquez, one of their best receivers out there, currently has 11 catches for 154 yards. The best thing about him is he catches the ball, but he gets up the field, so he's averaging about 14 yards per catch in the ball game so far. Pretty exciting for him, and he likes to do a lot of motion in the backfield, sometimes gets pitches on the outside. but very fast, and he likes to break out around the ends.
Yeah, and that one pass they had last week for a touchdown, it was basically hit in stride, so it looked perfect, and just needs work on his timing.
Looks like the national anthem starting here at Watson Stadium. We'll take a 90-second break and come back live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Watson Stadium. The Hobbs Eagle fight song going on right now after the anthem as the Hobbs Eagles take on the Roswell Coyotes. Hobbs at 1-1 on the season, the Coyotes at 2-0. Of course, these two teams played last year. Hobbs winning big, 51-7 in Roswell. In fact, Eagles up blanking Roswell at the halftime, 27-0. Outscored the Coyotes 24-7 in the second half. Eagles finished just 1 yard shy of 400 yards in that game, 296 in the pass, 103 in the rush for 399. Again, some of the returning players from last year back on the squad. Saul Armendariz had 6 carries for 35 in that game. Zach Salcido, 2 carries for 13 yards. And then Jeremiah Hawkes, in terms of receptions, he had 6 against this Roswell squad with 87 yards and a touchdown. On defense, Zach McPherson, 11 tackles, 7 solos. And also Cameron Hernandez, 7 tackles and a sack in that ball game. So lots of good stuff going on. 3 team sacks for the Eagles, 2 interceptions, and 4 fumble recoveries. So 6 turnovers for the Roswell Coyotes, and thus the big 51-7 blowout on the road.
Yeah, and we, of course, as Hobbs Eagles fans, enjoyed that. Wouldn't mind seeing that again. However, you know, that's going to be very unlikely, but hey, you know what? This is the reason why they play the games, because I've heard people say just because one team beats another team by so much doesn't mean the other team's going to struggle in the next game.
Last year, Roswell lost in the second round of their playoffs, 13-7 to Piedra Vista. They did beat Gadsden in the first round of the playoffs, 53-0, and then lost to Artesian, their district, 46-28. Of course, they play with Goddard and Mayfield, so a lot of tough perennial teams from that district. Get ready for the kickoff here, and it will be Roswell to kick off to start this ball game. They're wearing the white uniforms, red helmets, and silver pants. And finally, we get a uniform the Eagles can give us a number that we can see. Black uniforms with a very bold gold on top. I wish we play all our games, home games, so we can really see the numbers better.
Right, exactly. They are very distinguished, and yes, I told you, you know, it's either white on dark or dark on white. You can't have both white on light and be able to say, hey, you know what, I can see that from a distance, no problem. You know, we're getting a little older. I've got glasses, and he's not getting any younger, you know, but who is?
And of course, that rule is going to change here in about a season or so. They have to have certain contrast on those colors of the numbers. And no, we're not attacking the Hobbs Eagles. It's just the situation with the uniform is a little tough to see on the road. We're ready for a kickoff here as Hobbs getting ready to open up their first game of home, and the kick is underway, and it will go back to the 1 yard into the end zone. So an automatic touchback. A bunch of the Eagles just kind of back away from it. They didn't want to have nothing to do with it, and it's automatic touchback as it does roll into the end zone, and kind of waving at it there as it rolled in with Saul Armendariz, of course, the starting running back for the Eagles, and the black and gold is out on the field ready for their first offensive series. They'll get the ball at the 20-yard line on the touchback. Roswell's going to start with, looks like, 4 guys on the front line. Eagles going to go with the trips right, receiver left, as we're getting ready for Beatty, the quarterback, to take the shotgun snap. Gets the snap, fakes the handoff, 1-step drop. He's going to fire it down on the fade route of the right side of the field near the hash mark, tipped up in the air and knocked down, incomplete. Comes off the hands of Jeremiah Hawkes. So Hobbs coming out throwing quickly. That would have been a 30-yard reception in stride, but a little bit high and over the top there, and just barely off the fingertips as he jumped in the air.
Yeah, and it looked like Keegan Nichols for Roswell was the one that was able to disrupt that play. Otherwise, yeah, it could have been at least a very good 30-yard throw. Plus, possibly, if he would throw it, got it in stride, a touchdown.
So Roswell dodging a bullet on that one. 2nd down and 10 now for the Eagles at the 20, in the middle of the field here. Back in shotgun, Beatty and Armendariz. They bring a man in motion right to left is Hawkes to make it a trips left. He cuts back to the right to get a handoff around the right end to the 20, stretches out to the sideline section and gets down to the 21. Might have got a little bit more forward progress on that one, maybe 2 for Hawkes, but that's a guy that loves to go in the motion to get that defense second guessing.
It was, and that was a nice little run, but unfortunately it was just a 2-yarder.
So 3rd down and 8 for the Eagles at their own 22, just underway here at Watson, first home game of the season. Beatty goes underneath the center for a second and backs up. He has 2 receivers left and right. Armendariz going to switch a little bit from left to right shoulder in the backfield behind him. Hawkes in motion again, right to left. Shotgun, 2-step drop. He's looking left, now sprint out to the right, zigzagging back to the middle goes Beatty, but he's dropped down at the original line of scrimmage. A big pile up on top of him. Just could not find the daylight. He wanted to move away from that front D for Roswell. As coming up quickly for the Coyotes for the tackle on that one was Aiden Rutley, the defensive end.
Yeah, pocket collapsed on him. He could not go anywhere. He was trying to evade, but just everywhere he went there was a coyote there, so he ended up having to eat it. And now it's 4th down.
It looked like he was going to come to the left side, but he kind of stopped at the line of scrimmage before heading out to the left. He had 3 receivers going out in patterns, but just didn't see the space he needed. So Hobbs will be punting here. Should be Beatty back. He's been doing the punting chores much of the season so far. Yep, it is him back at about the 6-yard line. Gets a good snap, but fumbles it off his fingers. The ball is blocked on the punt by Roswell. It's rolling to the sideline, and it'll go out near the 15-yard line. So big special teams unit in there for Roswell. Gives him some excellent field position, and just a little bobble there by Beatty. It was a good snap, but came low on his fingers and came down to the turf. Able to scoop and kick, but not enough time there.
Yeah, and already we're going to be talking about special teams. That's what Coach Stevens has already been talking about, just needing to improve the special teams. And that wasn't anybody's fault. It just slipped out of his hands. He got it back, and he was cool enough to try to get it kicked off, but it ended up being blocked. And here we are. It's Roswell already in the red zone.
Looks like they're going to place it at the 14-yard line. Getting ready for that shotgun snap for Fuentes. He has twins left. Receiver right. 1-step drop at the 20. He's going to sail to the right corner of the end zone. High in the air. Receiver comes back for it, juggling it. They're going to say he lost control out of bounds on the right side of the end zone that time, but he got a piece of it and kind of tried to tip it back to himself. Manuel Segala, but incomplete.
Yeah, it was a nice play. It was a time play. Just did not get the final say as far as getting it caught. So luckily they are at 2nd down and 10.
Twins left. Receiver right for the Coyotes. They're spreading wide on the right side. Fuentes back in shotgun, waiting for the snap. He's going to hand it up the middle, across the 10 to the 5, and drag it down to the 4-yard line. Getting close to the 1st down.
Yeah, dangerously close to the 1st down.
So that's going to be 8, looks like 8 yards for Sanchez. And they're going to mark it, yeah, just about a yard and a half short. So 8 yards for him. And we got a whistle from the back judge, the referee at the back of the end zone. Not sure what the deal is here. Oh, I got one of the chain kids had the chain right next to the other stick there, and they needed to spread it backwards a little bit, so they got to have them apart from each other, not right on top of each other there.
Right.
3rd down and a little bit less than 2 yards, actually, at the 5-yard line on the left hash for the Coyotes. Back in shotgun goes Fuentes. He's going to pitch it left, trying to go around on the sweep, but getting upended was, once again, Sanchez. I'm not sure if he got back to line of scrimmage or maybe got past that first down mark. He just needed 2. Oh, they got a new guy in there, Godoy, so he gets the 2 yards he needed.
And they did get the first down, so first and goal.
First down of the game for the Coyotes. They go with a quarterback keeper up the gut on that left hash near the goal line. He's going to go down shy by about a yard, I believe. He just followed the pile through the middle that time. So I don't think he made it across that goal line to break the plane. Give him about 1 yard on the run. Getting ever close, though, on a third down and goal. Single setback with a slot left. Again, another quarterback keeper up the middle. The Hobbs Eagle defense getting steadfast there, and they're going to push him right back where he started from, about the 1.5 yard line. No gain, maybe a half a yard, maybe if he fell forward on the momentum there. So no gain on the play for a quarterback once again. They're going to keep lining up quickly. Sanchez behind the center underneath. This time he's going to hand to his tailback, who lunges toward with a high jump type of lean towards the goal line. No signal yet. He might have been stopped short.
They're showing fourth down.
Okay, he did not make it. Sanchez was trying to high jump the goal line that time. And they're at the 1 for a 4th down and goal. Quarterback keeper up the middle. He might have been stopped. We're going to see if he has enough second momentum.
Around.
Yep, he kept going with his legs churning and gets a 1 yard touchdown run for Sanchez.
No, he went out of the box and went in untouched. I didn't even see it on the camera, but I did see it. He had gotten out. Instead of pushing forward, he just backed it up and ran in around the side.
So Roswell scoring a 1 yard touchdown run, making it 6-0. Now going to be the PAT from the 10 yard line. Coming off a Hobbs Eagle block punt, unfortunately giving them great field position. A high snap, though. It's bobbled by the holder, and the ball's going to get flopped on the ground. Eagles just scoop it up, and that will stop the play. No chance for a PAT on that one, as getting his big mitt on it after it rolled across the turf for a few seconds there. Tristan Davis, the linebacker. But the snap was the problem on that one. Both teams having trouble handling the football in their special teams, but they score first to the Coyotes. 8:33 remaining here in the first. 6-0 Roswell. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back live here at Watson Stadium. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. The Eagles trail 6-0 after a fumbled punt. Or a block punt, I should say. First a fumble, but they got the punt off, and then Roswell takes it down in the red zone to score. Missed the PAT off a fumbled snap on that kick, or lack thereof. 8:33 left here in the first quarter as we get ready for the kickoff for the Coyotes from the 40. End over end. It's going to go back deep and caught at the 8. It's fumbled on the ground again. The Eagles have some issues with their fingers right now. 10-15 on the recovery to the 16-yard line, and then meets the big pile. It's a little bit of nerves here at the home field, but Hobbs able to recover that one as the fumble came off the hands of the Eagles, and the ricochet to the ground quickly. Amarian Kennedy able to scoop it up, and Hobbs going to have to get themselves calmed down just a bit, Ron.
Absolutely they are. I mean, yeah, I understand this is their first game, and they definitely want to make the most of it, but you definitely want to keep it under control.
Eagles football at the 20-yard line. Shotgun for Beatty. He has a couple receivers right and left. Going to bring Hawkins in motion right to left. He gets the handoff, stretching out the left side of the 20, the Hobbs Eagles sideline. Stiff arms one defender and drug out of bounds. And he's going to move it about 2 yards on that one. Does get out to stop the clock, which doesn't matter this early in the game at 8:19. Just a 2-yard pickup. Hawkins, his second carry for 4 yards. Only guy that's gotten the ball so far, and he loves to come out of that motion no matter which way it'll go. So that's going to be at the 22.5-yard line. 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles on the left hash, nearer to their side of the field here on the left. Twins right, receivers 2 left stacked. Beatty getting the shotgun, 3-step drop behind the 15, dumps in the left flat, caught at the 20, cut up the middle, 25, 30, 35, 40, and drugged down to the 45-yard line. It's going to be about 24 yards on that one on the reception for the Eagles out of the quick shot to the near sideline, Armendariz. So Armendariz going to get 24 on that one to move the chains for the Eagles. First catch of the game, 1 for 2 now for 24 for Beatty as the ball moves up to the 40-yard line. Make it the 45 at the left hash.
Keegan Nichols actually prevented that Hobbs score to be possible.
Hurry up offense for the Eagles. Trips right, receiver left. Beatty takes a snap on the shotgun, fakes the handoff. He's going to roll right, tucks it to the 45, cuts back the middle, gets a block, 50 into Roswell territory at the 47. So another 9 as he drags a couple more defenders on his bottom that time. That is a big run for the quarterback, Beatty.
It was, too. He took advantage of that hole, was able to push it up and almost get that first down on his own.
So they're going to give him 8 as his knee went down. 3 carries for 12 total for the Eagles, 8 for Beatty and 4 for Hawkes. Second down and 2 now from the Roswell 30, make it the 47-yard line, right on the left tip, top tip of the big H logo in the middle of the field. Trips left, receiver right. Beatty has a man behind him, Armendariz, who shifts to the right now in the backfield. High snap, brought down by Beatty. He's going to head right to the right again around the end. 50, 45, 40, puts his head down. There's a flag about at the line of scrimmage. This might be coming back. That definitely would have been a first down, about 10 or 12 yards on that one. But I saw the flag come out about a yard across the line of scrimmage, and that's not a good sign for the Eagles.
No, that's usually a hold area, and that's almost always for the offense, very rarely for the defense. So let's see what its call is. It is a hold. It is against Hobbs, and so that nice little run is going to come back, but they do have the opportunity to do it again and see if they can get another first down.
10-yard penalty for the Eagles to back them up. 7:01 remaining here in the first. Roswell up 6-0 over the Eagles as they had a very short red zone touchdown after a block punt on the Eagles' first possession. And Roswell scoring on their first possession. So that's going to back Hobbs up back to their territory now at the 43-yard line. And 7:01 remaining in the first. Trips left, receiver right. Beatty's going to back up with Armendariz in the backfield. There's going to be 5 on the front line for the red and white of the Coyotes defense. Beatty, delay. He's going to throw it down the middle. A little quick post route near 50-yard line. Hawkes comes up with some nice hands on the football, but to pull it down. And some slamming down on the turf after the whistle. Fans want that to be called a unnecessary roughness or late hit. 7 yards for Hawkes. No, they're going to make it less than that, make it 5 for Hawkes. They pull him back just a bit. His first catch, second completion on 3 attempts for the Eagles for 29 yards for Beatty, the quarterback. 3rd down and 8 now for the Eagles at their own 47. Hobbs now going to slow it up just a bit, look to the sideline for the play call instead of the hurry-up O. 3 receivers head right, 1 to the left side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Beatty backs up in the shotgun with Armendariz to the left of him. A little bit of a shift for him. Going to give it up middle to Armendariz, the 50. Roswell territory, zigzag, 45, and keeps it in the middle to the 42-yard line. Should be a first down.
Oh, definitely.
That'd be 12 yards for Armendariz. That will move the chains for the Eagles. Hope there's no flags. Wait a second, we got a delay. Yep, flag on the far sideline in front of the Roswell bench, pointing towards the line of scrimmage. That doesn't mean anything at this point. That's the line judge, head linesman on that far right side. Play came up the middle instead, so he must have seen something from the backside there to make the call. And long discussion with the white cap official right now in the Hobbs Eagle backfield with the caller official.
Yeah, there's defensive substitutions going on for Roswell. Nobody's moving back so far.
They're picking up the flag.
Right.
So Hobbs will get the first down out of it as Hawkes was able to get 12 on that one. He's got 3 carries now for 16 yards. Second first down for the Eagles, marking it at the 41.
Going to wait for the chains to move.
Chains getting a little work out there on that far sideline near the Roswell bench in front of them there. Eagles again at the 42, middle of the field. 6 minutes and ticking in the first, down by 6 are the black and gold. Twins left and right. Beatty has Armendariz with him. Still waiting for a no play call coming from the sideline, it looks like. Beatty looked over to Coach Stevens on that one.
Audible.
Still waiting for the snap. Gets it with about 10 seconds left on the field clock. Throws it down the middle of the post route. Ricochet off the fingertips of the intended receiver high in the air. Zach Salcido went up with it. He was open. Thrown a little bit high that time. Might have taken his eyes off it just momentarily. An incomplete for the Eagles. They are 2 for 4 for 29 yards so far in the passing game. Now a second down and 10 right in that middle X on the 40-yard line heading in towards the Roswell part of the field.
At the very least, they would have been at the 20-yard line, maybe even a score after that one, depending on how the defense reacted. But either way, just you can't get a touchdown, though, unless you catch the ball.
They moved the ball back to the 42 for some reason, as the official thought it needed to be readjusted. Trips right, receiver left. Second down and 10. Armendariz, a delay handoff, and that's going to be met with a big hustle by the Roswell defense to get through. And you could just tell that was not going to go very far that time as Armendariz was swamped. The front D comes in there and takes him down quickly in the backfield. He's going to lose a couple of yards on the play as coming up with the big takedown was Dominic Silva, the defensive lineman.
It looks like he lost about 3 yards on that play. So 3rd and 13 is what Hobbs is looking at right now.
So big decisions here for the Hobbs Eagles. Back to a Twins left and right. 5 minutes left first quarter. A 3rd down and 13 and a half. Shotgun to Beatty. Handoff around the left end. Armendariz 40 gets dug underneath at the left hash and gets down to the 39. Well short of the first down by about 11 yards or so. So that's about 6 yards for him. Maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe it's 7 as he's at the 38 of the Coyotes. So 7 for Armendariz.
So we're going to see what we can do on 4th down for the Hobbs Eagles. See if they're going to go for it. Try to get him to jump.
4th and 7 from the 38. Twins right, Twins left. Beatty in the backfield along with Armendariz. Shotgun snap, 4-step drop, rolls left. Here comes Beatty on the run to the near sideline, 40. High steps, it gets his helmet knocked off his face almost. A big forearm to the middle of his face mask. No call by the official with a high hit, but he had no chance to get upfield on that one. Just headed to the sideline. He's lucky, or Roswell's lucky, they didn't get a shot to the helmet call there. We still haven't seen the flag yet, and Coach Lynn on the Roswell sideline is livid. I'm not sure what that was all about.
Well, there might be one because we may not be able to see it from the players. Yeah, there it is right there.
Legal, yes, a targeting, illegal helmet contact there. Coach Lynn's lost it over on the other sidelines. Kind of wondering because I didn't see the flag. They must have just kind of flopped it on the turf. That's a 15-yard penalty against the Coyotes and gives the Eagles a first down, more importantly, for the black and gold.
Well, the reason why we didn't see it because where it happened, it was right in front of the Hobbs bench, and we cannot see past them or through them. So it was right on the ground, right in front of them. And anyway, it ended up being a good first down for the Hobbs Eagles.
We definitely saw what happened in terms of the shot to the face, but just waiting to see the flag. Usually they throw those flags high in the air on stuff like that, so the sideline gets the heck out of the way. 1st and 10 from the 18. The Eagles on the left hash trying to move in, make it the 24, I should say. Trips right, receiver left for the Eagles. A little delay here on the snap. Beatty going underneath the center and now backing out as he talks to his lineman for a second. Still waiting for that long snap with the game field clock down to 10. Throws the screen to the right side, caught by the Eagles in the backfield. Nice juke move and getting upended at the 20-yard line. Take a little somersault action forward was Deshaun Franklin. See how many yards they're going to get Franklin on this one. He went high in the air. His knees are kind of swiped up from underneath him that time. There's another flag on that far right sideline in front of the Roswell bench. I got a feeling Coach Lynn, who's usually very vocal with officials, is probably having some ears of refs on that far side here. Looks like they're backing it up again. So that whole pass play is put into the do not count mode here.
Yeah, it looks like it could have been not a hold, but something that had, looks like
hold.
7.
It is a hold penalty there.
Oh, that's right, from the spot of the foul.
So that'll be the Eagles' second penalty for 20 total. And now we got the linesman from the left sideline in front of the Hobbs bench, a referee heading out and talking to the umpire for a minute. I think there's a problem with the ball mark and a little confusion going on right there. So we got a 4:07 left first quarter. Roswell still holding on to a 6-0 lead, but the Eagles knocking on the door. Now they're going to reset again and back the Hobbs squad up even more.
Apparently they didn't get quite enough. Looks like that's 5 more yards is what they've added on to it.
Now at the 34-yard line, Eagles definitely have a big piece of real estate to make up. It looks like 21 now, or first down and 21 is what the situation will be. Well, not to make up, but at least get back some of the negative yards. Split formation backfield, 2 running backs, and right between them is Beatty. He is a pump fake, rolls right, gets pressure. He's going to go down to the backfield. He had 3 guys coming at him in red and white that time and couldn't do anything about it. Penetration coming up the middle. Lots of people getting through for the Roswell Coyotes, and that included one of their big men in there, number 77. That was Miguel Lopez. That's going to make a second down. Couple-yard loss for Beatty that time. Going to be second down and 25. They're going to say a loss of 4 on that play. Beatty back in shotgun with the split formation behind him. Twins left, receiver right, high snap. Hand to the left side, getting flushed out of the left corner to the 40. Getting drugged down and not back to line of scrimmage that time. So another couple-yard loss on that one, getting his legs kind of pulled back. As the ball carrier for the Eagles was Omarion Kennedy. Kind of a slow developing play before that as well.
Yeah, they were trying to run it on the outside, just could not get any help defensively. And all the Roswell team just did not buy the fact that it wasn't going to go anywhere else, and we're able to shut that down pretty quickly for another loss.
Wesley Gallegos came out from the cornerback position on the right side to help out with the tackle, -2 on that one for Kennedy. So Eagles keep backing it up as they started to knock on the door. But it's about 3rd down and 28 now. Waiting for the shotgun Beatty, twins right and left. He does hand it off this time, an angle right, but a quick takedown across the line of scrimmage for Armendariz. Might have got about a yard on that one. And on the forward progress. So he's got 3 carries for 11 and a 4th down and too much for the Eagles at this point. Probably going to go for it as they are in Roswell territory. About 25 yards they got to get all the way down to the 13-yard line of Roswell. It looks like they don't have a punter back. Beatty's also the quarterback, but the punter too, and he's not in punt situation here, at least not looking like it, unless it's a quick kick. Twins left and right. White to the shotgun, brings a man in motion from left to right. They're going to set up twins on that right side. That was Deshaun Franklin. Some pressure is on. Beatty's going to step up and throw from the pocket. Sails into the right corner, and the ball might have been intercepted down at the 2-yard line. Yes, it was. Roswell with the pickoff. So 2 turnovers so far for the Eagles.
That was more of a punt, if you want to call it anything else. I know it's an interception, but in the end, if it would have been incomplete, it would have been a turnover on down. So this way, Roswell is going to be put against the back of the end zone. That would have been a lot better if they would have been trying for a 4th down and failing to convert.
Trying to check the number of that kid that was over there. Looks like 32 was the pickoff man. Kind of lopped it into his chest plate there. Vernon Molinar, the linebacker. Yes. But Roswell, like you said, are going to have to do a shotgun to the end zone. They're going from their 2-yard line, but lead 6-0 after the INT. Handoff around the right side, nothing doing as they luckily called that dead for Roswell because they kept pushing that kid back in the end zone, but I think they gave him forward progress anyway. But they had 3 guys on top of him that time.
Yeah, that is the fortunate for everybody is, you get forward progress no matter what you do. And that looked like he went to about the 3-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Actually, that was Fuentes that just held the ball that time, so he did get 1 yard on the play. Trips right, twins left, 1:20 left first quarter. Roswell up 6-0 over the Eagles. 4-man front for the Hobbs defense as Fuentes is by himself in the backfield. Long delay here. We got a progress or legal procedure penalty called on the far sideline from the Roswell bench. They're going to go against the Coyotes. Referee had to run in to tell the Whitecap the call there. That's going to only be half the distance, though, so that should go from the 4 to the 2-yard line. So technically a 2-yard penalty.
Right, but still it's going to put him back a little bit, meaning that the quarterback, when he gets to his throwing position, he is definitely going to be in the end zone. And if there's a hold going on during that time, that's going to be a safety for the Eagles, and they get the ball back as well.
So back at the 2 now. 2nd down and 11. Fuentes by himself in the backfield, the quarterback. Trips right, twins left on the receiving core. They got to throw out of this mess. Halfway in the end zone, he'll fire out the out route. Caught at the 10, 15, 20, far sideline. Back pedal to the 24. So that's going to be a 22-yard pickup for the Coyotes. So 22 yards. The receiver for Roswell getting over to that far sideline was number 19. No, not in the roster here.
No, 19 is going to be Andrew Padilla.
So that will be a 1st down. And the Coyotes making their first reception of the game, 1 of 2. As they get the ball at the 24-yard line. Twins left and right. Now we got 1 setback, but the quarterback back there as well, Fuentes. He's getting some help from his tailback right now, kind of pointing out where they need to be blocking because it looks like there's going to be a rush on the right end for the Eagles. Going to go with the option look, pitch it out to the right side to the 25, to the hash mark, and sliding. Wild slide there with the no water on the field, but he still extended himself on the ground with his body that time. That was Bryce Sanchez, the fullback, as he's out to the 29-yard line. So that's 6 yards for Sanchez on his first carry. Or correction, that's his 4th carry. He's got a total of 15 yards. He did score that 1-yard touchdown to get the only score of the game. 2nd down and 3.5 now from the 29. Roswell still on their side of the field, 2-1. Look like they might not get the play out before the quarter expires, and they will not. Clock is run out. But they do have the 6-0 lead the Coyotes do over the Eagles here at Watson Stadium. We will take a 60-second break and come back live with more Hobbs Eagle football on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. We start the second quarter here at Watson Stadium. Ron Gunner, Ty Friend, and Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Roswell leading this one 6-0, coming off a block punt for the Hobbs Eagles, and then a red zone scoring play, a 1-yard run for the touchdown for the Coyotes. They have the ball second down and 13 now at their own 29-yard line. Shotgun, Fuentes back to pass, a two-step drop, flushed out left. Not much pressure yet. Comes out to the 30, stretches out on the run, tucks it, and is taken out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Very close to the first down. It's going to be depending on the mark here on the far side. Looks like he might have enough forward progress on that one.
He does.
Looks like that will be enough for about 3 yards. Murillo gets him out of bounds for the Coyotes, or for the Eagles. So first down for Roswell. That's their third of the ball game. Again, their only scoring play was a 1-yard run. That rush on that last one was Sanchez for 3. First down and 10 now from the 34. They're getting a late sub in the ball game, sprinting from the far right sideline, getting on the field just in time. Not sure if they changed the play or not. That was Louis Godai, the running back. Going to pitch to him around the right end to the 35. He gets slid down and gets maybe about a yard. Looked like he was coming into home plate that time and just put his hip to the turf and came across. And yeah, he was running full speed. First I thought it was a motion, but I think he was a late sub onto the field and didn't get the ball right after that, so not fooling the Eagles very much.
But we're going to see Godeo. He is a great runner. He has some speed. Once he gets around the outside, he can turn on the jets and be able to go. Luckily for that time, he wasn't able to do so.
Only a 1-yard pickup. Second down and 9 now from the 35 of the Coyotes on the right hash. Eagles have 4 on the front box now. Now make it 5. Twins left and right for the Coyotes. A little bit of time now for Fuentes to get the snap count. There's a man behind him in the backfield. Hand up the middle. Sanchez gets spun around as he comes across, dragging people with him across the 40. Gets about 6 on the play. So he's got 6 carries so far. Eagles have to do a team tackle there to bring him down.
Yeah, he even had lost his footing for a moment, stumbled forward, and still was able to get a couple of extra yards for the Roswell Coyotes.
And coming up with the tackle, original tackle, Zakiah Wad, the defensive tackle for the Eagles. Third down and 3 now for the Coyotes. Sanchez now with 24 yards on 6 carries, 4 per pop. At the 41 on the right hash. Clock to 10:30 left, second quarter. Man in motion left to right. The pitch to Godoy around the right end. 40. Heads to the first down marker. Flattens his body out. His knee might have gone down first. Close to a 3-yard pickup, which is what he needed at the 44. Looks like he might be short by a yard.
Yeah, you're right about that knee. It hit first, and that's where they got him 1 yard short. 4th and 1 is what the call is.
Boy, Coach, they make a big call over that sideline. Coach Lynn with the 4th and 1 at their own 43. Hard snap count here with the double slot look, and I think they just wanted the Eagles to jump off. Hobbs is loading up the box. Looks like they have 6 guys in there right now, all on their toes, ready to pounce the front line there. Roz are going to take their time to make a decision on this one, probably back to a hard count.
They got stopped at the line earlier.
They put Godoy in motion left to right. Now we got flags flying. Looked like a couple of guys went in motion and out of their position. That's not what you want to see. It was not a delay of game because the field clock was still about 8 or 9 seconds left on it. But that's going to be a delay of game penalty against Roswell to completely screw up their whole situation there. And I bet on the sideline, Coach Lynn is livid.
Yeah, again, it looked like because they got stopped at the line earlier, they were not trying to go ahead and run the play. They were trying to get Hobbs to jump. Jump, they did not, is what Hobbs did. And so, therefore, now it's 4th and 6.
Definitely a punt situation now. They got a guy back at the 23 now to do the kicking chore. Good snap. Kick is coming off from the 30, or making the 28, a high one. Deep punt, caught at the 15 by Hawkins, jumping in the air up the middle. Tries to spin, get away from a defender, but drop back to the 20. So Eagles will be in the middle of the field around the 22-yard line for their next possession. They do trail 6-0 with 9:43 left here in the second to Roswell here at Watson Stadium, the first home game of the season. So the Eagle offense going to step out there. As everybody out, and one of the players talking to the official here on the right side. I'm not sure what that was all about. Maybe just some small talk going on. Roswell puts 4 on the front line defensively. The chain gang taking a little bit too much time. Oh, there's a late flag out there, Ron, about the 34-yard line. So we're waiting to see what that's all about. We've had a lot of single one-on-one conferences going on with the side judges and the white cap discussing a lot of stuff on these calls. I'm not sure what the discussion's about at this point. Maybe where the actual foul happened and where they're going to mark it off from, but they're pointing all over the field at this point. Both refs at the 40-yard line, and the flag's down at the 34.
Yeah, I was looking at the chain gang. They had moved the chains back and forth and had it at fourth. Now they have it at first down. Going to see what the call is, though, after the officials get
legal block. So that's a 10-yard penalty against the Eagles. Their third penalty for 30 total. That's going to back them up some. And right now they had it at the 20, but it's going to probably go back a little further now. It shouldn't be much further because the flag was at the 34. You'd think it'd be the 24. I don't know why they're going back this much.
I know. At the very least, it's going to be if it could be half the distance, it'd be 10.
The flag was ahead of the play. That's why it's going back to the 10 here. So that's going to back it up to the 10-yard line. Hobbs football with 9:43 left, second quarter. Receiver left, one on the right side, two. Split formation backfield as Beatty will be between his two backs there. Looks like Armendariz and Hawkes. Roswell gets 4 on the line with a big gap in the middle. And Hobbs a little bit of a delay as they let the field clock get down to 10. Beatty taking his time now. Gets a good snap, turns and fires the pass to the right screen to the right side to Hawkes. The 10 gets around one defender but gets knocked to the chest with a blow from another to the 15. So Hawkes is going to pick up 5 on that one and make it 4 for Hawkes. That's his second catch, 9 yards total. Eagles are now 3 of 5 in the passing game for 33 yards. They're 60% completions there for Beatty at this point. To bring up a second down and 5 for the Eagles at the 15. Now 5 in the box, one guy backing out for Roswell. A receiver left and right, shotgun to Beatty. Fakes a little shot over the right side and gets his pass deflected as he tried to throw up the middle on the after the pump fake. Ball was straight up in the air. They should be calling this incomplete unless somebody caught that on the ground right in the front of the throw. It looks like it might have hit the turf. Roswell's holding the ball in the air, waiting for the officials to make a signal.
It's going to be hard to say if it was caught or not. They could have just got it off the ground, too.
Confusion on the field. The Whitecap officials in between two Roswell players. I think they're going to say it hit the ground. It's incomplete pass regardless, but Beatty did a pump fake, faked the screen to the right, and then decided to throw it anyway up the middle and got it rejected. I didn't see who actually got the hand on that football, but it looked like it might have been the defensive end there. One guy kind of in that area after the play was done was Eli Lynn. That's the coach's son, the defensive end on the left side.
Yeah, and it was just a little bit of confusion as far as that goes. I think we actually saw that happen last week, too. His hand was hit, but that turned out to be an interception.
Whoa, another conference by the officials. We have a ton of those. And trying to make the mark of if the ball hit the ground, it should be incomplete and go back to the original line of scrimmage. But they have it all the way up to the 11-yard line that's where the officials are talking about it. Right. So an incomplete pass is just back to the line of scrimmage. I'm
exactly.
Not sure.
No, you're right about that. If it was an incomplete pass, it should be at the 15.
11. It's 11.
Oh, it's 11?
Yeah.
Well, either way, it should be back to where it was.
Looks like that's where they'll set it, 11-yard. No, now they're going to move it up to the 15.
See, that's where because I had it at second and 5. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Now it's at the 14. So everything got sorted out. 3rd down and 5. Trips left, receiver right, short side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench on the right. 3-step drop for Beatty, pump fake. He wants to throw it, fades it out to the far left side between two defenders, intercepted at the 50-yard line for the Coyotes. At the Eagle 40, cut in the middle, 30, back to the right, to the 25, 20. He can go all the way, 10, 5, into the end zone, 50-yard interception return for a touchdown for Roswell.
We did not need a pick 6.
So Roswell gets another score, kind of just waiting for that ball to come to him too. That INT for the Roswell Coyotes by Wesley Gallegos, the cornerback. So the second pick of the ball game for the Eagles, and a 12-0 Roswell lead here at Watson Stadium.
Yeah, that is
just
definitely
a lot of time to throw though, Ron, but he just got it off balance and kind of chucked it up there, and the cornerback had kind of looked like a safety way deep at the 50, like an outfielder in baseball, and just waited for that ball to come over his shoulder and just took off and went up that far sideline and cut back and zigzag back to the right. So the PAT coming out for the Coyotes, a low snap. They've had some trouble on their kicks. It's up and good, though. Holder's been having some issues holding on to it, some low snaps as well, as Peyton Kennard is able to put it through the uprights. 8:33 remaining here in the second. Hobbs has to dig out of a hole after some costly errors, trailing Roswell 13-0. We'll take a 30-second break, come back on the Hobbs Eagle Network. 8:33 left, second quarter. Roswell extends their lead to 13-0 over the Eagles after a 50-yard interception return for Wesley Gallegos for the Coyotes. And 2 mistakes, 2 scores for Roswell. Ron, that's got to be put down to rest a little bit. The Eagles got to get their nerves under control and back in action here.
Yeah, they got to go back to the fundamentals, if anything else, just to start moving the ball forward. They've been doing that, but try to make as little mistakes. We talked about this in the pregame, where you try to make less mistakes, definitely less turnovers, and you have a better chance of winning the game.
Of course, Roswell and Artesia, some of the best teams in the lower division here in New Mexico. They get to the second round of the playoffs last year. Here comes the kick from the 40-yard line. It's going to be a roller. Onside, it's loose. The ball's flopped up in the air near the 45 of the Eagles. Roswell jumping for joy. I don't know if they're going to call this a recovery. No. The official on the near side says Hobbs football. Roswell thinks they've got it, though. Anxious to see if the refs get together on this one, because the ref on the near sideline here on the Hobbs Eagles side. Now the referee's pointing the other way. He changed his signal. First he pointed for Hobbs. Now he pointed the other way, going to the left. They're giving it to Roswell. Another turnover for the Eagles, and special teams is having a big issue.
Exactly, and you don't automatically think of an onside kick in the middle of a second quarter. However, Roswell gambled, and looks like they won.
Got out of the Artesia playbook there. 1st and 10 from the Eagle 44 shotgun. Fuentes back to pass. He's got a lot of time. Flushed out to the right. Comes back up the middle. Gets spun around. Breaks a tackle. Spins through 2 more. And about a 2-yard gain as he's thrown forward. As the Hobbs Eagles are kind of bouncing into him. But unfortunately couldn't get him down on the original shot. But finally throwing him down to the turf for the Hobbs Eagles. Zakai Awad, the defensive tackle. And they're going to say no gain on the play. His knee must have gone down before he got that forward progress.
Yeah, he was slung forward, but luckily for us, it was just slung forward to the line of scrimmage.
It'll be a 2nd down and 10 from the 44-yard line. Twins left, no receiver on the right side, but there is a slot. Shotgun to Fuentes. He's going to roll out right after a fake handoff. Throws the out route to the far sideline to the 35. And that's going to be about a 15-yard pickup to the far side in front of the Roswell bench. So coming up with it, Kennard with the reception. 15 yards for him to move the chains again for Roswell. Their 4th first down. They are 2 for 3 in the passing game for 39 yards so far to 2 different receivers. And now they have the football at the Eagle 31-yard line on the right hash. And boy, the Hobbs Eagle defense has to stay on the field quite a bit in this first half, Ron. I'm sure they're going to get a little bit tired by the time we get to half.
Exactly. They're definitely trying to get this off the field and for rest.
Handoff up the middle, bouncing off one tackle and sliding to the right, maybe getting back to line of scrimmage. The Eagles are trying to get a wrap up there. Finally coming down with the play for Hobbs and putting him down after a bounce off a little bit was Awad. So no gain on the play again. So Fuentes is having some trouble. He does bangs into people, but just can't get his body moving around him enough to forward advance it.
Right. So far, winning is the against the rush, but the pass is what it's getting him along with the turnovers.
2nd down and 10. Fake the handoff. Here comes Fuentes around the left end. The keeper, the 25, dragging bodies with him, falls ahead of the 23. And he's going to get about, looks like, almost 9 on the play, close to the first down mark. He slid as forward as he could, 8 actually for Fuentes. Fuentes now with a total of 6 carries for 10 yards, a little bit over about 1.5 yards a pop, but now a short distance for Coach Lynn and the Coyotes. 3rd down and 0.5 yard to go at the Eagle 22.5-yard line.
Defense getting onto that one as it was Tristan Davis getting some help over there to bring that quarterback down.
Tailback in the backfield is Dominic Pacheco. He's a new one. He gets the ball up the gut, spreads the middle to the 20, 15, diving forward, and a first down pickup. Looks like about 12 yards. They'll move the chains again for the Coyotes, their 5th.
And another first down for the Coyotes.
So Pacheco gets that one. And now they're going to have the football at the Eagle 14-yard line. Roswell can still get a first down at the 4. They're middle of the field with 6:17 left here in the second, and the clock ticking away. Roswell leads 13-0. No receivers right, 2 to the left. Handoff up the middle. Pacheco hurdling over a few. Diving to the 5-yard line. Actually, correction, that's not Pacheco. That is Bryce Sanchez, the fullback. He's getting another 8.
He's usually the go-to guy, Bryce is, but at this point, he's been held to check. That was his first big gain of this game.
2nd down and 2 now. We're making a long 3 here for Roswell at the Eagle. 8-yard line. Fuentes gets the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, rolls right, heads to the far sideline near the first down marker, takes a stutter step, might have fumbled the football to the goal line. We're going to see if there's a recovery, or was he down? Yep, officials pointing down on the turf. He gets the one he needed, or two, or make it three that he needed, and then extends it more. So he's got all the way down to the 2-yard line, and that's a 5-yard pickup for Fuentes to move the chains again for Roswell. Their last time they can get a first down on this series. They have 6 total first downs, and that's 15 yards on 7 carries for Fuentes. Fuentes going to hand off up the middle this time, diving over the pile and a touchdown. And that's going to be a 1-yard score for Roswell as they're back in the end zone one more time. Looks like the score that time for the Coyotes was Malachi Mitchell. Well, actually, Sanchez is the one that gets the score. That's his first TD of the ball game. And that's his actually second touchdown. Both of them were for 1 yard. Bryce Sanchez, the fullback. Here comes the PAT. Roswell a little bit shaky on these kicks so far in this first half. As kicking it will be Peyton Kennard. Shot is up, and it is good. A diving attempt at a swat at the ball that time. Good effort to put his body on the line, Superman style. Carlos Jimenez, the DB for the Eagles, flew in the air but could not get the touch on the leather. 5:09 left, first half. Second quarter action. Roswell extending 19-0 over the Hobbs Eagles. We're coming back to you in 30 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to Watson Stadium. Your Hobbs Eagles trailing 20-0. 2 interceptions, a fumble, and a punt so far for the Hobbs Eagles. Definitely been the problem at this point. Got a score coming in from Tatum tonight. The Tatum Coyotes leading 58-26 over Lordsburg. That's a home game for the Coyotes. Of course, you got your Hobbs Eagle action going on tonight, as well as Lovington on the road to Santa Teresa. Try to get a score update on that one. Roswell kicking off to the Eagles now from the 40-yard line. Sends it back deep. Hawkes makes the catch at the 5 on the near right sideline. Comes around the left to the middle. Continues to extend it out. That's actually Kennedy to the far sideline. 25, 30, 35, 40, and somersaults across the 40-yard line. A 35-yard return for Kennedy to get the Hobbs Eagle fans fired up a little bit here at Watson Stadium on this Veterans Appreciation Night, and first responders too. Again, not much to cheer about up until that big run, Ron, because too many mistakes up until this point at 4:59 left in the half.
Yeah, 35-yard return. That is one of the biggest plays we've had so far for the Hobbs Eagles.
It's coming back.
And naturally it would be, because it was such a good play that laundry had to be distributed.
Yep, legal block. Yep, legal block's going to be a 10-yard penalty. Hobbs with 4 now for 40 yards. 3 penalties for Roswell for 22. And the clock stopped at 4:59 left, second quarter. Still a 20-0 ball game in favor of Roswell, but I guarantee you at halftime, Coach Stevens is going to say, "Get your minds back in this contest." You know, we haven't gotten pushed around the field, just mistakes. Turnover is number one mistake, and it's not always the team that gets hit with that. Maybe a couple players involved in the plays, but definitely going to have a discussion about the psychology of the game. First down and 10 from the 10 for Hobbs. Trips right, receiver left. Back to the shotgun. Beatty's going to throw it, a little curl route. Catch made at the 15-yard line. Kennedy heads back to the middle, sliding across. Kennedy gets a 5-yard pickup on that one. So his first catch of the ball game. Hobbs is now 4 of 7 in the passing game for 38 yards. Second down and 5. Eagles football at the 15, middle of the field. 4:35 and ticking here in the second quarter. Roswell up by 20. Eagles going to take a look at the sideline for the play call. They got one receiver far left in front of the Roswell bench. Twins right near the Hobbs Eagle bench, kind of bunched up. Beatty will shotgun it. He's got 2 men behind him in the split formation. Good snap. 3-step drop. He's going to throw the curl route again to the 20, and it's caught by Hawkes. He's going to be right at the first down marker, and actually it wasn't Hawkes. Instead, That was Saul Armendariz coming out of the backfield that time. He moved to a receiver at the last second there. That should be close to the first down. We'll see if they give it to him.
It looked like actually the pass was incomplete because they're at 3rd and 5 now, so it did not advance the ball.
Looked like he had control of it. I guess they said it popped out at the last second there, so incomplete. Hobbs now 4 of 7 in the passing game. 4:11 with the clock stopped on the incomplete. Shotgun to Beatty. He's going to throw another curl out to Hawkes up at close to the 25, but it was about a yard short, which is going to make him shy of the first down. And they're going to say he stayed in bounds as well. And actually, they're not going to give him are they giving him the forward progress or not? Needed to get to the 20. Yes, they're going to give it to him. 5 yards for Hawkes. So he's got 3 catches for 14. Hobbs now 5 of 9 in the passing game. And that's the 3rd first down of the contest for Hobbs. They'll be on the right hash at the 20.5-yard line with 4 minutes left in the half, down by 20. Trips left, receiver right. Beatty gets the shotgun. Now flag comes out at the line of scrimmage. I should have stopped the play. Not sure why the umpire is throwing the flag and stopping the game unless he shouldn't have had he's got a false start for the umpire position. Whoa, you don't usually see that call made. That's the line judge's call there, but the umpire gets a false start call. That's kind of a head scratcher there.
Yeah, plus it was late in the play. Usually it stops the play from happening, and in this case it had already started up and was in motion when they had to stop that play.
So 45 yards on penalties for the Eagles. They have a total of 5 handkerchiefs on the turf so far in this game. Clock down to 3:52, so it's a kind of hurry-up offense for Hobbs to try to get some points on the board here before the half. Twins left and right. Beatty back with Armendariz on his right shoulder. Going to bring Hawkes in motion, comes back, gets the fake handoff, dumping the right flat. Armendariz makes a catch to the 14, but he's met with white and red in the backfield. He's going to be dropped. Forward progress will lose him about 3 yards, though. Nice catch, though, in traffic for Armendariz.
But unfortunately, no real estate ahead of him. In fact, like you said, 2 white shirts right there to greet him and say, hey, you know what, this is as far as you're going to get. You got lucky enough to catch the ball, and now it's going to be for a bit of a loss.
And a couple of guys back there, a safety and a cornerback for Roswell, Keegan Nichols and Jacob Palomino. And now Hobbs facing a 2nd down and 18. Trips left, receiver right from their own 15-yard line. Shotgun Beatty. Hands it off around the left end. Armendariz trying to spread it out as much as he can to the far left to the 10. He's met in the backfield again. He's going to drop it for another 4-yard loss. And blocking's not getting around that left end, and White is just kind of flooding through. And unfortunately, that's going to put the Eagles in a bad position. Another loss.
Yeah, it looks like the blocking is well ahead of him. And that's the problem, though, is Roswell is getting around the blocking and going right straight to the runner. And now that pushes him back for a 3rd and 20.
So Armendariz loses 4 on that one. He's still in the positive yardage so far. He's got 4 carries for 7 total. And a 3rd down and lots of real estate to cover here. About 19 to go for the Eagles. Trips right, receiver left. Beatty back with Armendariz in the backfield. 3 on the front line for Roswell. Pass prevent. Handoff of the middle. Armendariz getting through the coverage to the 15. Heading to the right to the far side. 20 to the sideline. Breaks a tackle. 25 and gets bumped out about the 28-yard line. Make it the 27. Well shy of the first down, though. And looks like he'll get back across the original line of scrimmage. So picked up some of that negative yards they had before.
You know, it looked like for a moment he was going to make something out of nothing. He was nearly caught in the backfield. Ended up wiggling his way out of it. Almost thought he found a lane at one point when he got to the left side of the field, but unfortunately he did not.
Gets 12 on that one and will not move the chains, though. 4th down and long 3 for the Eagles at their own 30. Make it the 27-yard line. 2:17 left here in the second. Man coming in motion from left to right. Beatty's going to punt from the 16-yard line. Kind of a dead one high in the air, though. Will take a bounce at the Roswell 45, rolling for the Eagles. Good roll on this one across the 35. And Hobbs just letting it to stop. They had 7 guys around the ball. Good coverage for the Eagles as it backs the coyotes up to the 34. But, Ron, that gives Roswell 2:14 to work with, up by 20 points here, 20-0 over Hobbs. I guarantee they're going to want to put some points on the scoreboard to get some more insurance.
Absolutely they are. They want to score while they can, and definitely before halftime. So, yeah, you're going to see more of the same thing from Roswell. Hopefully Hobbs will be able to get back into it by stopping them and maybe even getting the ball back before the halftime is over with.
1st and 10 for the Coyotes at their own 34 on the left hash. They haven't been running a wide receiver to the right side for quite a few plays now. One on the left, though. Shotgun. Fuentes throws it to the left receiver. quickly holds the hands up, gets the catch at the 40, and that's going to be 6 yards. As coming up with that one for Roswell, just waiting for the football, kind of curled into it, was Segala. So he's going to get, looks like they're only going to give him 5. He got out of, we'll make it 6 for Segala. Ball at the 40-yard line, left hash. 2:11 though, stop the clock is what they want to do with the clock management to get themselves down the field. And they do actually want to burn off the time though. I want to give the Hobbs back the football with a 20-point deficit there. Foot just gets the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, rolls right, looking to throw, back at his 35. He's going to let Chuck from the right sideline, wide open man at the 20, and he's going to run in for an unmolested touchdown there. That went from the 34 into the end zone, 66 yards, receiver not covered whatsoever.
No, he wasn't, and that was a bit of a fake. I think Hobbs bit on it a little too much, was able to, the secondary wasn't there, blown coverage, and that left the receiver wide open for that huge, huge gain and another touchdown for Roswell.
Get that. We'll get you the number on that here in just a second, but 66 yards for the score. Crowd's getting pretty quiet here as the score continues to mount for the red and white. They're going to go with the PAT. Low snap. Kick is up, and Kennard with the boot. It is good inside the left upright. 2 minutes left here in the half. Hobbs down 27-0 to Roswell. Come back with us in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back to Watson Stadium, where we're live here and into this second quarter. Unfortunately, though, Hobbs Eagles are down 27-0 to the Roswell Cows. They just scored on a touchdown pass for their before the 2-minute warning, so to speak. And you know what? We're going to have a big hole in the second half to climb out of. But for the call, let's get back to Ty Friend.
3 catches, 105 yards for the Coyotes, including that 66-yarder for the touchdown. So definitely Roswell starting to open this game up just a bit, but all because of turnovers. 2 interceptions, a fumble, and 2 punts. So 3 turnovers and 2 punts for Hobbs at this point, and 5 penalties for 45 yards. Roswell kick off from their 40. Eagles trying to get themselves untracked offensively. They've had 6 completions so far as here comes the kickoff. Be a dropper at the 20, rolled up and slapped off the hands of Hawkes, able to get down back on top of it. And actually, and that might have been his Armendariz, I believe. Maybe it was Armendariz. No, it was Hawkes that comes up with it. But the Eagles definitely are dodging some bullets here. Nope, let me get the number right the third time. Gabe Henry was the return man for Hobbs on that one and tried to scoop with 2 hands. Didn't really get down underneath it. Kind of just been over on his back and was not able with the good angle he wanted to get, but he did get the recovery, which is more important at this point. Yeah. Hobbs football underneath, 2 minutes left in the half on the 20 right hash. They'll put 2 twins on both sides here. As Beatty waiting for the shotgun. Man in motion is Hawkes. Fake the handoff to him. Give it to the tailback instead. Angling right to the far sideline right. He gets up in it and dropped, but there's a flag in the backfield. And not a good sign for the Eagles as Armendariz got the little pitch out there to the right side. And wait to see what the call is here from the officials.
Yeah. So far, the short game on the run is not working out too well for the Hobbs Eagles.
Now, depending on where the start was at the 20, so if it's a holding penalty, they still could take the whole 10. Yep, 10-yard penalty against the Eagles. So those continue to mount. That's actually a block in the back is what they called. That's now going to be 6 penalties for 55 yards.
Yeah, and again, they're getting put back deep in their own territory. That is always a bad situation when your quarterback has to throw it out of the end zone.
First down and 20 now from the 10-yard line on the right hash. They'll send 2 receivers right, 1 to the left side. Hobbs looking at the side to see what the call is from Coach Stevens. Now a trips right, receiver left. Beatty back in shotgun. Taking his time on the snap here. Clock running at 1:30 left. Good snap. Turns and fires to the right side. The catch is made. Heading up the near sideline is Deshaun Franklin. Gets a big pile on him as he gets across the 15. Official was rolling the clock, and he was out of bounds by about 4 or 5 yards. So I'm kind of wondering why that was that movement was made with the arm there. But 6-yard pickup on that one by Deshaun Franklin.
The only time that usually happens is when they give forward progress, and the forward progress was inbounds.
So second down and 15 to go for the Eagles at the 15-yard line. Make it close to the 16 now on the right hash. Underneath 1 minute left in the second quarter, and Hobbs taking a lot of time to get the play call from the sideline as the signals are coming, and the coaches are just kind of letting it flow here. I think they just want to get out of this half without any more damage being done. They're not urgent to get any scores, it looks like, at this point. Clock down to 38 seconds left and 7 on the field clock. Beatty's still going to wait for the shotgun with the Twins right and left. Gets a good snap. Back to pass with a 3-step drop. He'll send it down the middle on the seam route over the shoulder, but overthrows his receiver at the 50 and try to get the PI call as the receiver kind of throwing his arm up in the air towards the officials. Amarian Kennedy wanted the call. Thought he might have been held on that pattern towards the ball, but ball was thrown about 15 yards ahead of him. Incomplete. Hobbs is now 7 of 12 in the passing game. Couple of catches for a couple of receivers so far, but kind of spread out at this point. Clock stop with 26 seconds left with the incomplete. And now a third down and 14 to go for the Eagles on their own 16-yard line. Trips left, one receiver right in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Beatty takes a look at his tray receivers on the far side. Going to give the handoff to Armendariz up the middle through the gap, trying to pull people with him, but he's up under pretty quickly as he dives forward. 2-yard pickup for Armendariz. And then a quick timeout call. I think Roswell called the timeout because they're tasting a punt return here.
Exactly.
Not much time will be remaining. It's at 19 at this point, but Roswell still wants to put some points on the board here at Watson Stadium. Timeout called. We'll take one as well. 30 seconds. We're back live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. 19 seconds left here in the second quarter. Hobbs trailing Roswell 27-0 at Watson Stadium, and not the home opener you expect. Hobbs fans are probably not too excited right now, but there's still another half to play after this, Ron.
Yeah, there is, and you know what? This is still a very early in the season. They can get away with losing another one. They don't want to, but they can definitely come back in the second half, though, and see if they can make this a ball game.
19 seconds left in the second, waiting for a punt for the Eagles. Of course, the Hobbs JV came back big last night in a game against the Jal Varsity. Kind of exciting game there as the third quarter came around. And now a timeout. Hobbs going to talk about it. They're kind of nervous now where to place the punt because Roswell only has 19 seconds. They're probably not going to get very many plays on offense, but a very short field to work with here on the punt return. Can you imagine that scoring in the end zone off a special teams play? That's not the way you want to end a half, even though you are down big anyway.
Right.
You don't want to have a mistake. Special teams has had some big question marks tonight.
Well, plus, Roswell, I've seen a couple of kick returns and punt returns. They can run the ball back at least 20 yards, and if they get a great opening and push it far enough, they could get either to the red zone or maybe even a touchdown. So, yeah, that's exactly what Hobbs doesn't want to do. They have enough time for a good run back and maybe a possible first one play for Roswell. But, yeah, you definitely want to make sure you give them nothing extra.
Anybody that might think this might be a discussion about a fake punt, I would pretty much say I wouldn't be trying that with this time left. A few seconds for Roswell to do something. Did somebody call another timeout here? Looks like Hobbs was on the field and they came back off. And Roswell's back out now on their defensive set, but Hobbs went back to the sideline for some reason. Must have called a back-to-back timeout here to really talk about it. You can tell the coaches still concerned about the return situation. We know the big wins for Roswell in their first two games of the season. Lovington 45-18 and Santa Fe 58-6. And Fuentes getting a couple of rushing touchdowns against Lovington in their victory there. And a whole slew of guys against Santa Fe last week. Sanchez, Fuentes, Toscano, Cadet, and Behill all scoring. And Sanchez really got some big returns, or big rushes, 3 and 31 yards for scores. So plenty of different guys that they can get to return the football here. Back to the punt situation for the Eagles is The quarterback, of course, Beatty. He's by himself back at the 4-yard line. He'll punt it from the 6 and keeps it low, end over end. Going to take a big roll at the 50 for the Eagles and rolls out at the 40, looks like the 42.5-yard line in Roswell territory. So kind of gets it out of the ugly zone there, the red zone for Roswell, and back into their side of the field. Only took 2 seconds on that play, so 17 remaining. Roswell is going to definitely have to keep stuff to the sideline and get out of bounds so they don't use up their full time here, but not a lot of time to work with at the 40-yard line.
Did you know that the 20 over for the opposing side is known as the green zone?
Yes, it is here on the field turf. Okay, Roswell football, 1st and 10 from the 40, left hash.
Yeah, they have plenty of time for at least 2 plays.
And you pretty much expect out routes. Unless they get somebody broken open down the sideline, they might try to loft it out like they did for the 66-yarder earlier in this quarter. They lead 27-0. Shotgun to foot, doesn't he? Downs it in the backfield. Guess they're kind of worried that they give up a turnover here and let Hobbs get a score before the half, but he nailed it down at the 34. Boy, I really questioned that one. I thought they'd run a couple plays and maybe just go conservative with it and see if somebody breaks a run up the field and take the points you can get. But, whoa, 6 yards on the loss there.
Well, I think one of their thinking is we're going to get the ball in the second half first, so there's no need to we'd like to get a score. However, we're not going to push it, try to get an interception and that turns for a pick 6 or maybe even possibly an injury that would be silly after being up right 27. So yeah, they're just going to go in, be content with the lead and just work it out for the second half.
So Hobbs coaching staff going to have a little work to do at halftime, get their kids back in shape for this second half. They trail 27-0 to Roswell. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with a Hobbs Eagle halftime show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube. You're listening live to Cool 95.7 on the radio. We're here at Watson Stadium. It's halftime, Military Appreciation Night, and also First Responder Night here at the home opener. Of course, the Hobbs Eagle marching band on the field. Boy, they got a big blast going on here right now. Excited to hear them on their first show of the season. I'm Ty friend Ron Gunner. Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Hobbs Eagles, though, with a big hole to dig out of in the second half. They trailed at halftime 27-0 to Roswell, and got to credit most of those scoring drives to pretty much gifts given by the Hobbs Eagles in terms of turnovers. A couple of INTs. One definitely was a big one, and a fumble as well. And 3 punts were given up for the Eagles. They had a total of 6 penalties in the first half for that was 55 yards. So definitely some differences there that cost them through much of that first half of action. So definitely something you got to get in the heads and discuss. We can't just let a problem turn into a big rolling snowball down the hill here. And got to get back in the game and, at least get on the scoreboard to get early in that third quarter. Of course, Roswell, as you mentioned earlier, Ron, they're going to have the ball first, so that's going to give them a little bit of momentum heading in. Let's look at the numbers first, and we'll talk about some of these the production so far. First of all, Sanchez, the running back for Roswell, 9 carries for 46 yards. He does have 2 touchdowns, very short stuff, 1 yard apiece on those, and his long was a 13. So he definitely is their go-to guy in terms of the running game. Although Fuentes, their quarterback, has tried to rush a few times, his long was 8. He was 8 of 9, got dropped in the backfield once for -6 and had a couple 3 zeros at the line. Eagles kind of getting stout there and holding him back. And also Gade had 3 carries for 6 yards. So 3 rushers in that first half, 20 carries for 61 yards. So not a lot of damage there. Hobbs has been kind of good about keeping them at bay. Passing game, though, they've gotten triple digits in that first half. They had the big 66-yard touchdown throw for the touchdown to get moving on to put more points on the board. Also, a throw for 24 yards. Those 2 players were not on the roster. We're going to have to get that checked out here at the half. But guys that did make the roster to get some catches for Roswell, Peyton Kennard, who's also the kicker, had a catch for 15. And also making a catch was Manuel Segala. He had 1 for 6 yards. So 4 for 5 right now is Fuentes, the quarterback, for 111 yards. Only missed 1 pass at this point. 172 total yards for the Roswell offense in the first half. They had only 3 penalties for 22 yards total and had 6 first downs, doubling the numbers of the Hobbs Eagles in the first half of action. On the side of the coin for the Hobbs Eagles so far in the first half, their rushing game is led with 21 yards. And, of course, that's their starting tailback, Saul Armendariz. He has 6 carries for 21, a long of 12 for a first down in the first half. Hawkes is coming out of that slot and going in motion. He had 3 carries for 16 with a long of 12. And last but not least was the quarterback, Brock Beatty. He had 2 carries for 4 yards, 1 for 8, and then he was dropped in the backfield for a 4-yard loss. So those are the positive numbers so far in the first half. 12 carries for the Eagles for only 39 yards rushing. In the passing department, there's been 7 of 12 completed for Beatty at the QB position. And some of the guys making catches include Saul Armendariz, 2 for 21. Jeremiah Hawkes had 3 catches for 14. Omarion Kennedy, 1 for 5. And also, last but not least, Deshaun Franklin, 1 for 6. And if you look at those numbers, they only had 1 double-digit catch in the first half. We mentioned that one with Saul Armendariz for 24. So that's kind of a difference that we've been seeing. Not really the extended plays that the Eagles receiving corps is capable of, but Roswell doing a good job of wrapping up. Hobbs came into this game averaging 12.3 yards a catch. Under the last 2 ball games, a win against Clovis, a loss to Artesia, but we're well below that tonight with just a single-digit average at this point. So 7 of 12 for 46 yards, only 7 more in the passing than rushing for 84 overall in the total yards for the Eagles. We mentioned the penalties so far, 6 for 55. Hobbs has had 3 first downs in the first half, but the penalties, the turnovers have really hurt them. 2 interceptions and a fumble, and also a recovered fumble on the some returns as well. 3 punts so far in the first half. So mistakes got to get erased if the Eagles get back in this one down 27-0 to Roswell.
Exactly. They've got some things to take care of. I'm sure Coach is talking to them right now about the penalties, especially since they're starting at the 20-yard line going back to the 10. That is hard. Twice they've done this to where they've had to start at the 10-yard line, work 90 yards, and for whatever reason they just can't even get the ball moving. Their runs that they had a couple weeks ago and a week ago are not going. They can't get past the D-line. And so they're having to go ahead and get into the short passing. I expect to see that more. It's working a little bit. It's getting at least 5 yards. and you want to get something. Something's better than nothing. I know 12.3 and average is what you actually would like to get, but at this point, 5 pass would be nice too. They can get first downs just by 2 plays in that sense, provided of course they don't shoot themselves in the foot and get some terrible penalties. Of course, the other thing we can look at too is this: the defense stopped Roswell in actually almost 4 plays, 3 plays definitely inside the 5-yard line, where it's able to stop a quarterback sneak, was able to put up a wall, so to speak. In fact, it was such a big wall that they actually had to run around it to be able to score the first touchdown here. So Hobbs has, at least in that play set, they were doing really well on defense, but they're allowing too many throws to get in. And, of course, that interception by Hobbs did not help with the pick 6. So Hobbs not doing themselves any favors as far as play selection. I think that one that was picked, I think that was forced a little bit, needs to, just pick and choose better throws, as well as just make sure that, you stop this offense. They're going to come out. That's their first test. Defense is going to be tested right off the bat. If they can stop them, then they can get back in this game and get some momentum going their way.
And, of course, defense stayed on the field way too long in that first half. They had some good stops near the goal line to try to stop the touchdowns from scoring, but a lot of activity out there and continue to be on the field. It's going to kind of draw on your energy, and hopefully this halftime break will help them get back where they need to be. 27-0 Roswell over Hobbs at halftime, about 5 or so minutes away from second half action on Military Appreciation and First Responders Night at Watson Stadium. We'll come back in 4 minutes as you're listening to Hobbs Eagle halftime.
Welcome back to Hobbs football action at Watson Stadium live as the Hobbs Eagles return to the field and about to get ready for this second half kickoff where they'll be kicking off to the Roswell Coyotes. Roswell, unfortunately, is leading at the half 27-0, and it is just going to be, it has been basically all Roswell. We had a little bit of action for Hobbs, but unfortunately, penalties and other things have been slowing them down. Turnovers as well have helped the Coyotes build the 27-0 lead. And as we're looking at it, I want to give a quick shout out to a past coach who has just passed away August 5th. His name was Coach Kermati, and that was Jim. He was described as, when he was a coach in the mid-70s up to the 70s, he was after Pat Tone. And he had no celebration, but no funeral celebration, but he did have a celebration of his students and people who knew him. For some, he said he was a very encouraging, positive, very caring, a great teacher, and a football coach as well. And he was very instrumental in a lot of people's lives for the Hobbs High School. So once again, Hobbs High School coach Jim Cromartie, who had passed away just earlier last month now. And we're going to be celebrating his life. Of course, we're also celebrating the Military Appreciation Day as well as first responders. We're always very happy to accommodate them. They do accommodate us so very well. In fact, actually, Blakely VFW, post number 3274, also does the same thing over on Alto. So, yeah, they are very good for the first responders and for the military, as hope we are tonight. We got them in for free. Unfortunately, though, this is the game you don't want to see right now, the first half. We're hoping the second half will be completely different as Hobbs turns it around like the JV did last night and be able to get back into the game, correct their mistakes, and definitely get the fundamentals back.
Other Tatum or other games going on tonight. Of course, the Tatum Coyotes had a double up lead. I think it was 56-28 at halftime over Lordsburg. Lovington's on the road at Santa Teresa. We don't have a score yet on that game, but we should have one. It's on our sister station, KZOR 94.1.
It is 42-7 right now in the second for Lovington over Santa Teresa, who had to go all the way up to Santa Teresa. And last time we checked, it was 58-38. Lordsburg coming back slowly against Tatum. It's 12 points difference in the third quarter.
We should mention, too, Lovington working on their first win of the season. Of course, a tough schedule. They had to play Roswell game 1 that we mentioned already, and then last week another tough contest as well. So they played Seminole. So they're now trying to get that first win on the long road trip, as you mentioned. Roswell's finally out on the field here. About 45 seconds left before we get the second half started. Of course, they're going to get the kickoff return, which a little momentum when you have a 27-point lead. But sometimes when you do get the ball back, if you start off a little bit flat, you know, that's not what you want to do. You want to keep the momentum rolling here. The Eagles definitely would like to get themselves fired up. You mentioned that JV game last night. Hobbs was down, was it 27-0, I think, in that
34,
game.
34, actually.
Yeah, almost a mercy rule at halftime. And that third quarter, they just got guys going, long pass plays, hurry-up offense, didn't give the defense enough time to rest. And then that's basically what kind of got in the head of Jow. And the varsity was playing the Hobbs JV last night. So Jow started to get whittled away at, and then they came back in the fourth quarter to close the deal. But still, something that you might want to see with the Hobbs Eagles, hurry up the offense, just make it a personnel problem for Roswell and having to, flat-footed, not know what to do out there. But right now they got the cushion, which is not the good situation for Hobbs, but they're going to be returning the Coyotes here up 27-0.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely an uphill battle, but if anybody can do it, I think Hobbs can. They just need to adjust their game a little bit, maybe a little quicker, and get those passes a little sharper.
Here's the kickoff. This is Beatty, Brock Beatty's brother, that kicks off. It's caught at the 15, brought up the far sideline. Stutter step 20, 25, 30, 35, and finally run out of bounds about the 38-yard line in front of the Roswell bench on that far side. So pretty good field position to get this second half underway. Roswell football.
And some people don't know this, but Brock Beatty is also playing on the JV as well.
And that was his brother that kicked off, Braddock Beatty. He is a sophomore. So Roswell football, good field position at the 38-yard line. They lead 27-0 here at Watson Stadium. They'll send two receivers left and nobody to the right side like we saw quite a bit of that second quarter. They do have a slot right, though, as they get ready for the first snap. Fuentes waiting for the shotgun. He's going to give the hand off to the tailback right up the middle, and just powering straight ahead is Sanchez as he gets it close to the 45-yard line.
With help from some linebacker. Linebacker just pushed the whole pile about 2 yards forward, and now that made it a short 2nd and 3.
So they give him 7 on that one. 10 carries for 53 yards for Sanchez as they pointed the football on the 45-yard line on the right hash. Just underway here in the third quarter. Of course, we'll be back next week at Watson Stadium. Is that the big Lee County battle, isn't it, Lovington?
Yeah, it is. Even though Lovington always plays above their class, I think that's the reason why they do so well during their division or district.
Yeah, they definitely get those pre-district games very heavy duty. Shotgun to Fuentes again. One-step drop. Throws the slant route ahead of his receiver at the 50-yard line, middle of the field. Is that a good catch? I think it is. Boy, nice job of getting underneath the football that time. A 5-yard pickup. Should have been right in the field turf, but coming up with it for Josh Estrada, the wide receiver. So 5 yards for him. That's his first catch of the ball game.
And that adds up to a first down for the Roswell Coyotes, the first one in the second half.
So 5 of 6 in the passing game for Fuentes so far. They had 111 at the half and now make it 116 in terms of total yards in the air. First and 10 from the 50, getting those 7 first downs. At the 49, actually, of the Eagles. High shotgun snap, back up the middle again to their tailback. Just trying to plow straight forward. The Eagles throw a wall at him there as he tries to angle to the right. We'll see how many yards they give him on the forward progress. First guy with the helmet inside the mosh pit there for Hobbs was Xavier Alvarado, the defensive end. They do give him 2 yards to Sanchez that time. He's got 11 carries now for 55 yards. Second down and 8 from the Eagle 47-yard line.
Cameron Hernandez was also in on the stop for the Hobbs Eagles.
A whole bunch of black and gold on top of that play. Roswell send a receiver right, nobody on the left side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Single setback, waiting for the shotgun is Fuentes. He's going to throw it down to the right corner there with the curl route. The ball comes out. I'm not sure if he ever had control of it. We're going to see if they're going to call that a catch or not.
Looks
ball
like
came squirting out. Yeah, that's going to be a 9-yard pickup. I think the receiver kind of breathing a sigh of relief as he came up with that one. Looks like 9 yards on the catch. And that's by the guy that had the 66-yard touchdown earlier, L.J. Macias. They're going to give him 9 on that one. Fuentes goes to the shotgun, angling right on the handoff, trying to go off to the 40-yard line, but met a wall again and taken back deep. Bryce Sanchez, the fullback. That was a 3rd and short. Needed to get a yard to the 39. Instead, that's going to be possibly back to the 40, so no gain on the play for the big kid.
Exactly. So 4th down once again. Looks like 4th down and a long 2.
So Sanchez not able to get what he needed on that one, and it's a 4th and about a yard and a half. They'll mark it back at the 40 on the right hash. In Hobbs territory, though. They got a big load up on the line here. Just 2 in the backfield, 1 receiver far right. Fuentes takes the shotgun, is going to wait for it and pull out of it before he gets the snap. Looks over to Coach Lynn on the sideline right.
Plenty of time on the clock. He's got 16.
On the field clock there. Coach Lynn steps out on the field to talk to his quarterback for a second. Hobbs got 7 on the line. Shotgun to Fuentes with the option. Tucks it, goes himself up the right hash, 40, 35, and gets somersaulted to the 34-yard line. It's about 5-6 yards for Fuentes. That's his 9th carry for 15 total. That will get a first down for the Coyotes. Their 8th of the ball game as he was flying in the air on the somersault and landed at the 34 of the Eagles on the right hash. First down for the Coyotes.
But the one thing the Hobbs fans did not want to see is that Roswell's moving the ball efficiently down the field in their first possession of the second half.
And getting that clock continuing to move here as well. Not the mercy rule yet, still 27-0. First and 10 now from the 34. Again, 2 in the backfield, including Fuentes, the quarterback. Receiver right, slot left. He's going to pitch left. Trying to cut back to the 35, spun and brought down at the 34. Back to the line of scrimmage, not much more than that. Bunch of guys in on that one for the Eagles.
In fact, 2 of them brought him down very efficiently.
Got in there first for the Eagles that time. It appeared to be Tristan Davis as he takes a piece of the running back that was a pitch on the left to Dale Madsen.
That is correct. They spun him down and just got barely back to the line.
Yeah, no gain on the play for the Coyotes. Second down and 10 now from the 34. Shotgun Fuentes fakes the pitch left and goes back to the right. He wants to throw. Tries to throw it to the right flat, actually across the line of scrimmage. A little bit of a short out route there at the 25, incomplete. Thrown behind his receiver in traffic and kind of a dangerous throw down there. A couple guys in the area just waiting to pick that thing off to try to get our first turnover of the game. Canyon Johnson, the D-end out there for the Eagles. And now Roswell is starting to sputter just a little bit on the offense.
Well, Cameron Hernandez rushed. In fact, he actually hit the quarterback after he released it. Would have been a 6-yard loss if he hadn't passed the ball. So Coyotes escape another one with that one and get a another chance for another play.
They missing the down marker over there. I'm not sure what happened to it. Third down, shotgun to Fuentes back of the 40. He tries to throw the out route. It gets deflected by somebody there on the line for the Eagles. Chasing in the backfield that time. Trying to see who gets a high five here. Is it getting a swat on the football on the tip of it that time? Looks like a big mitt on the play for the Eagles, provided by Cameron Hernandez, the outside linebacker. That was a third down. Now make it fourth on the deflection.
Right. So what it is the marker is behind the marker, so you can't see it. I saw it just barely, but it is just behind
the stick. Yeah,
the stick.
Down marker behind the stick there. Usually they're supposed to move it out a little bit so you can see the number there. It is fourth down regardless. 4th and 10 for the Coyotes at the Eagle 34. Good defensive stand here for Hobbs as we wait the punt. Unless Coach Lynn pulls something out of the bag of tricks, they will kick it from the 45. And this is a sidewinder. It goes towards the far left sideline. Scooped by the Eagles dangerously. Roswell might have recovered a fumble there. Why not just let the ball roll out of bounds? Instead, it might have hit an Eagle on the leg on the far left sideline about the 7-yard line. We got a big pile up on that far side. Referee is over there. Some Roswell guy with the big red shirt. I don't know what his position is, but he's on the 5. I don't know what he's doing down there as a fan, but he's pointing for Roswell.
Could be a coach as well. But either way, that was a very dangerous play by the Hobbs Eagles. At the very least, it would be at the, the 6-yard line for the possession, which would be deep in their end zone, or deep in the territory of the defense. Otherwise, if this is a turnover, then it's going to be a great one.
Javen Hernandez was in the pile, but I'm not sure. He came out of the pile, but the officials are still talking on that far sideline. Coach Lynn has run up the sideline. They're going to call it a turnover. So it went off the hands of Hernandez, and Roswell will have it deep in Hobbs territory. Another mistake for Hobbs. They should have let the ball roll. You don't have to recover the punts. You can just let them roll out of bounds. And it was at the 6-yard line is where Roswell will take over. So major mistake there. And it did hit him. It had to have hit him for them to be able to recover it. If it would just rolled out or stayed on the field, it would have been Hobbs football because it's not like an onside kick on the kickoff situation.
Exactly.
So another turnover regardless. Turnover off the leg that time. 1st and goal now from the 7 for Roswell on the right hash. Go with the handoff up the middle and just diving straight ahead is Sanchez. As he moves it down to the 5-yard line, a 2-yard pickup. He's got 13 carries for 57 yards right now as the clock runs with 6:37 left here in the third. Roswell leading Hobbs 27-0. Now at the Eagle 5-yard line on the right hash.
Yeah, and once again, Eagles deep in trouble at their own end trying to stop this tenacious Roswell Coyotes offense.
Yeah, poor defense been on the field quite a bit in the first half and now part of this second half. Go with the slant route, thrown behind the receiver from Fuentes to the middle of the inner zone. Yes, they're going to call the INT at the back of the end zone. The ball took a second to get through, and a little delay there. The pickoff man for the Eagles was Gabe Henry, the defensive end, as he gets the INT for the Eagles. It's the first turnover of the ball game for Roswell, and finally breaking the ice there for the defense to get off the field and giving the Eagles the football an automatic touchback on the INT at the 20-yard line.
And did you hear that collective sigh of relief from the fans? You know they did because we just dodged a bullet.
So Hobbs will have the football, trailing 27-0, 6:15 left third quarter, have it their own 20 middle of the field. Roswell will put 4 on the front line. Hobbs will go with a twins, make it trips right. Receiver left to the far Roswell sideline left. Armendariz in the backfield, left of Beatty, the quarterback. High snap with a shotgun, throws a quick slant route, caught at the 22-yard line. Is coming down with it as Hawkes, but he's met with 3 Roswell defenders right on top of him. Those cornerbacks working good tandem there. And coming over to help from the secondary for Roswell was Dominic Silva, defensive lineman. 2-yard pickup for Hawkes.
I got to count 5 Roswell players over there, so they definitely need to change it up. I think they're maybe focusing in on the wrong side now, and Roswell is definitely keying in on that play.
4 catches for 16 now for Hawkes. 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles at their own 22 right hash. Beatty looks back behind him to Armendariz. He's got receivers 2 left and right. Armendariz kind of shifting around right to left now. Bring Hawkes in motion to the left side. Gets the handoff, going around the end left to the 20. Cuts it back to the hash, 25, 30, and a late flag coming in. That's not what you want to see on towards the end of a run. Started at the 22 and got about to the 29-yard line. Would have been about a 7-yard pickup short of the first down. I think we're going to come back 10 on this one, Ron.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. It looked like a good play, a good run. Never really needed a hold. However, sometimes you get in a position where either it looks like a hold or you just have to hold a little bit just because of where your body is at. So Yeah, another unfortunate thing, you get a good gain and you blow it all by one hold.
But still no signal yet by the official. A lot of conferences in this game to figure out what's going on here. Not even the Whitecap is in the conference, though. They got an umpire and a line judge talking about it at the football, and the umpire's in the backfield, and no signal yet up here to the booth. Now another ref comes in there.
Now they're all three coming in, and
no Whitecap in the mess, though. He's standing away from the huddle.
Right.
He's waiting for the, I guess, the vote. 2-1 count will be the winner on the vote. But what's the call? Still waiting. Did they pull the flag up? Now he's looking over here to the sideline on the press box side. Oh, legal contact to the face mask. I don't know if this. Yeah, it's a personal foul one, so that will be 15. Biggest penalty of the ball game, at least. More physical penalty by Roswell. They have 4 total for 37 yards. That will give the Eagles a first down, their 4th of the contest. So get a big break on that one. Move the ball up to the 44-yard line on the left hash, nearing midfield with 5:27 left third. The Eagles got to get some points, though. They're down 27-0.
Yeah, they got a momentum going. They need to keep it.
Trips right, receiver left for Beatty in the backfield with Armendariz. Gets a good snap, gives it to Armendariz up the gut, angles left to the 45, to the hash mark. It's buried backward. And might have got forward progress to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
It looks like he got 2 yards forward progress on that one.
Yeah, he got lucky on that. He might have extended the tiptoe out there. That's his 7th carry for 23 yards. 5:05 left here in the third. Clock ticking. Trips right, receiver left. Beatty went underneath the center momentarily to talk to his lineman, and then backs out in the backfield. Back to the 41 for the shotgun. Good snap. Fakes it to Armendariz, throws a little slant route, coming back to get it. A little curl at the end at the 50-yard line. Good fingertips on the football by Deshaun Franklin. Franklin will get a short one for 4 yards, and that for him is his 2nd catch for 10 total. Eagles starting to get a little short passing game. You mentioned that at halftime, Ron, that might be a key for Hobbs. They're 9 of 14 now in the passing game. 3rd down and 5. Need to get to about the 45 of Roswell for a first down at midfield. Trips right, receiver left. 4 in the front line for Roswell's D. Beatty waiting for the shotgun. Gets it. 2-step drop after the fake handoff. Double pumps. Throws it to the near sideline. The curl. Hawkes catches it at the Roswell 42. He's got a first down. And a late hit after the play. That's going to be an 8-yard. We got fisticuffs on the sideline, too, on the Hobbs sideline. They're trying to help out on that 8-yard pickup for Hawkes. That'll be his 5th catch for 24 yards and a first down.
Yeah, that was a slam after it was definitely out of bounds. And that is uncalled for. But luckily for Hobbs, though, it is 15 free yards, and they will take it every single time.
They've had 2 personal fouls here in this third quarter, 30 yards total, but 52 overall. That is their 5th penalty of the ball game. We kind of saw that last week, too. Hobbs was loading up on penalties in the first half against Artesia, but then it kind of got back the Artesia way in the second half. So hopefully working to the Eagles' advantage here. That's their 6th first down after the mark-off there. And that's going to go up to the Roswell 27-yard line on the right hash. Clock to 4:13 third quarter, 27-0 Coyotes. Trips left, 1 receiver to the right side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Beatty in the backfield along with Armendariz. Armendariz shifts from left to right, stays in the backfield. 4-man, make it 5-man front for Roswell. Beatty's going to throw it quickly on the slant to the left side. Caught by Hawkes at the 25. Trying to cut back outside and is piled up. And he gets 5 yards, does Hawkes, so they're kind of getting him some balls here in the third quarter. He's got 3 catches for 15 in the third and 29 yards overall on 6 catches. Hobbs now 11 of 16 in the passing game.
I think the only thing that most people would say is a little less juking, a little more running. If he'd run forward, possibly could have gotten that first down.
Easy for you to say up here in the press box, Mr.
It is true.
Gunter. 2nd down and 5 for the Eagles at the Roswell 24-yard line. Make it the 23. Twins right and left for Hobbs. Beatty takes a peek at his right receivers. They're loading up the box now, about 6 guys, but 2 linebackers back out of it on the stunt. Beatty has some words for his lineman as he comes up and then backs out to the shotgun again. Long delay, good snap, fakes the handoff. He wants to throw the curl route. Ball's deflected right back to Roswell. Intercepted at the 10. Brought to the 20, to the 25, breaking a tackle, to the 30, and out of bounds to stop the clock. Hobbs could not get themselves a break in this ball game. The pickoff for the Coyotes, taken away off the deflection off a shoulder pad. Jern Moriel comes up with the INT. Can you believe that, Ron?
Yeah, there was at least 3 guys over there, too, and we also have an injury on the play. But, yeah, there was 2 guys over there for Roswell. Definitely, one of them deflected it, like you said, and the other one was able to catch it behind the receiver.
About 10 yards behind where it deflected.
Yeah.
It's about the 20 and went back to the 10 in the air, kind of a wobbler, and then picked off by Moriel as he came up with it. And you mentioned the Hobbs player hurt down about the 20-yard line as they're tending to him flat on his back at this point. Eagles now with 3 interceptions and a couple of fumbles. Of course, the fumble happened just minutes ago as Roswell punted to the Eagles, and the Eagles fumbling about their 7-yard line. So,
Yeah.
and until the interception happened for Hobbs. So Hobbs with a total of 5 turnovers. Roswell sitting at just 1, and Eagles also have had 3 punts too. So official timeout. There's the injury. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Come back live with more Hobbs Eagle football. They trail Roswell 27-0. Amarian Kennedy, the injured player for the Hobbs Eagles. Roswell football after the INT have it at their own 30. They lead 27-0 on the left hash. Shotgun to Fuentes. Fakes the handoff up the middle, rolls around and hands off to the right side around the end of the 30. 35, 40 left, or the right to the sideline to the 45. That will be a first down pickup. And looks like at least 15 on the play that time.
Yeah, used all the field on that one. Got a rollout and was able to make that first down. And was able to avoid a tackle as well.
Malachi Mitchell, the ball carrier that time for 15, moves the chains for the Coyotes. They have 9 first downs and have it now at their own 45 on the right hash. 2:56 left, third quarter. Roswell leading Hobbs 27-0, all because of a bunch of turnovers. Back in the backfield, Fuentes has one man behind him. That is Sanchez, receiver left, and a bunch of bunched up receivers on the right side of the line just outside of it. And off to Sanchez, bounces out to the left to the 45, stretches it out, but a nice ankle tackle from behind. Ball's loose, and the official, I think, lost control of it and didn't see where the stop was. I think he said he was down.
He was.
They had a new ball carrier in there to carry on the little pitch out to the left that time. That was Louis Godoy. He gets about 3 yards. And I missed the man who got the nice ankle sweep that time from the backfield. I'll have to double check to see who that might have been. I think possibly getting through there for the Eagles that time was Cameron Hernandez, the outside linebacker. 3-yard pickup, though, for Godoy. It's now 2nd down and 7 from the Roswell 48 on their left hash. Slot left, twin receivers right for Roswell. Fuentes having some words behind him to Sanchez here. Probably have a block duty there in the backfield talking about it. They're going to go right, looking for an option. He's going to flip it. No, it fakes it to Sanchez, and Fuentes almost lost the ball. He kind of palmed it as the quarterback tried to get across the line. Eagles met him quickly and shut down the little option look. Good pressure getting through there that time. Couple of guys through the line of scrimmage that time for the Eagles. And that included Cameron Hernandez, again, the linebacker, and also one of the linemen, Zakai Awad, the defensive tackle. No gain on the play for the quarterback, Fuentes. He's got 10 carries for 15 yards. Clock down to 1:28, though, here in the third. 3rd down and 8 for the Coyotes at their own 48. They want to try to get a first down here, not giving the Eagles any chance to have a possession near midfield. Trips left, 2 receivers right, by himself. Fuentes in the backfield, shotgun to him. Stays in the pocket, fires it to the curl route to the first down marker. Stretching forward and getting the first down. Looks like 9 pickup for Roswell at the far right side. Looks like Sanchez coming out of the backfield that time to make the catch. So he gets 9. That will move the chains to 10th first down. And that'll put it now at the Eagle 44-yard line on the right hash. 1st and 10 for the Coyotes underneath 1 minute and ticking. And Coach Lynn really much having his huddle just take their time on the play calls here because they've got the time into their advantage up by 27.
Exactly. When you have 27 points, you don't have to rush to do anything. All they have to do is just make sure they don't make any mistakes.
Receiver left, 2 right. They can put a man in motion to the right side to make it trips now. That one will stay in the slot position out of the motion. Fuentes wants a little change up on the call here. Maybe the audible. High snap, though. Hands it off up the gut. Across the 40, 35, and a first down pickup. Looks like 12. Coyotes going to move the chains again. So that will get them ahead. Sanchez with 11 yards. And that will be the 11th first down for Roswell. He's got 68 on the ground on 13 carries so far for the Coyotes. And again, it's continuing to gut the clock down to 10 seconds left in the third quarter as they're at the Eagle 33-yard line. It might be the last play. It looks like Roswell is going to the huddle to the sideline just to let the clock run out here. So the Eagles have left the defense on the field way too much in this complete ball game up through 3 quarters. They trail Roswell 27-0. Come back with us in 30 seconds live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Don't forget the radio, Cool 95.7. Hobbs Eagles trail 27-0 here as we start the fourth quarter. Roswell or Hobbs did not score in that third quarter, so pretty much a dead heat there. But Roswell getting a touchdown in the first, 3 scores uncontested in the second. They led 27-0 at half, which is the score right now. You got some scores coming in anywhere else, or are you going to?
I sure do. I have Mayfield up at the half, 27-0, or so 27-3 over Oregon Mountain. But we can also thank our sponsors real quick. Eastern New Mexico University, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline, Lee County State Bank, TDS, Forest Tire, A-Tech Air Conditioning and Heating, Lasco Construction, First American Bank of Hobbs, and Divine Energy Services. Thank you very much.
Of course, they're sponsoring us throughout the season and the playoffs, of course, if the Eagles get there, and that's what we're expecting to happen. But they do trail right now to Roswell, 27-0. First and 10. Coyotes football at the Eagle 33-yard line. 2 receivers left, slot motion over to the left now, and a receiver right. Fuentes with a 2-step drop back of the 40, goes in the left flat. The ball's bobbled around. I don't think they're going to say he had control of it. Incomplete. Slipped through his fingertips as he kneeled down about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That was a Peyton Kennard incomplete. So no pickup on the play there. Roswell only completed 1 pass in that, or excuse me, 3 passes in that third quarter for 23 yards, but again, they've had control of the scoreboard since halftime, 27-0. Back to the 33, second down and 10. On the right hash, they'll send 2 receivers left, 1 to the right side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Fuentes takes a peek over the left side as he looks over to Coach Lynn to get some second discussion on the call there. He walks over to Coach Lynn, then back behind the line of scrimmage.
Calling the audible.
Yep, yelling out to his receiver here on the right side in front of the Eagle bench. Good snap. Angling left, breaking through the line of scrimmage and going down hard for Roswell. Just pretty much a dive ahead. Bryce Sanchez, the fullback. That's what fullbacks want to do, just put their head down and go. As he'll get, looks like 2 yards off that left side.
And I'm surprised how well that the Hobbs defense, luckily I'm very happily surprised, that they're being able to hold Sanchez to such limited gains when he runs. He's usually a pretty good powerhouse. I saw him last week. He was carrying Santa Fe players along on his back for more yardage. So good on the Hobbs Eagles defense.
Yeah, giving a lot of work to Kenyon Johnson on that right defensive end. He had to get up there with an angle to help out on that tackle. Third down and 8 now for Roswell at the Eagle 32. Twins left and 1 receiver right. Fuentes back to pass, goes with a slant route, and it's down low in the dirt, or should I say the field turf. Is that a catch or not? Looks like it might be. Yes.
Now, where they mark it is the most important part. It's just close to the first down marker.
About 7 yards. I don't think they're even going to try to go for it here possibly, but the catch was made by Josh Estrada. Estrada with his second catch of the game. That was for 7, 12 total for him now. has the completion good, but 4th down and 1 for Coach Lynn and the Coyotes. They're not going to be punting, of course, from the 24, but I don't even think they're going to try a field goal. They're just going to go for it. Want to run some clock as well. They lead 27-0.
Jacob Diaz was the one that was in on that stop for the Hobbs Eagles.
So big play coming for the Eagles now on the defensive side. 4th and 1 from the 25-yard line for Roswell. They have a slot left, single setback, and underneath the center is Fuentes. He'll back out of it. Double slot now for Roswell.
Trying to hard count to see if they can get him off sides. No, instead they're going to burn a timeout.
So Coach Lynn going to talk to his troops. Coach Stevens going to get the defense fired up here. 10-13 remaining in the 4th. It's Roswell 27, your Hobbs Eagles nothing. A big defensive stand, hopefully for the black and gold, in 30 seconds after the break. .10-13 left, 4th quarter here at Watson Stadium. Ty friend Ron Gunner, Tiffany Stuber with you tonight. Nice night for football here as the Eagles have their home opener, but the scoreboard isn't in their favor at this point. 27-0 as Roswell leads. Coyotes are 2-0 on the season, trying to make it to 3-0 here, but Hobbs still has some breathing room to go, but they got to hold up on defense on a 4th down and 1 as they're facing Roswell here. As Roswell in the red zone at the Eagle 20. Look at the 24.5-yard line. After a timeout, Roswell breaks their huddle, gets up to the line. They send a receiver left. Nobody to the right side. Fuentes underneath the center. Single setback and a double slot look. 4th down and 1. Hobbs will stack, looks like 5 guys on the front line. Fuentes has some discussion for all his linemen now.
Back down to 4 on the time clock.
They're going to go with a handoff to the tailback, left side of the 20, 15 as he bangs his way through, and he will get the first down. That's going to be 10 yards. That's Sanchez picking up 10 on that one. That will move the chains for Roswell. Their 12th first down of the contest. He's got a total of 80 yards now on 16 carries. And the clock will continue to run. Roswell with the hurry-up offense, though, from the 15. 1st down and 10. Slot in motion. He's going to get the pitch around the right side. Heads out to the 15 and tries to drag himself to the 12. And that'll be about 5 yards for him. As Godoy is out to the right and is tackled for the Hobbs Eagles by Jacob Diaz, the DB. So Godoy's going to get 5 yards regardless on that one. That's his 5th carry for 14 yards. And boy, Roswell with a major clock management in this second half, continuing to eat away at the time left.
Yeah, well, I think what they're trying to do is throw off the timing of the defense, or for the defense, by switching it up and trying to go fast, then going slow again to offset the play.
2nd down and 5 from the 11-yard line on the right hash for the Coyotes into Hobbs territory, leading 27-0 over the Eagles. No scoring in that 3rd quarter, though. Pitch fake right, roll left goes Fuentes. He's got some room to the 15, 10, far sideline 5, heads out towards the sideline stripe and gets rolled up. They're going to give him a first down on that carry, so the quarterback himself gets it done. That'll be a 9-yarder, make it 10 for Fuentes. And one of the Hobbs Eagle defenders got stuck in the end zone. Looked like he almost got tripped or sideswiped there. He's trying to break away to come up and help that time for the Eagles. That in the corner of the end zone, Gabe Henry, I believe, was out there. But he got knocked down about the goal line. Actually, no, that wasn't Henry. That was Carlos Jimenez, the cornerback over there on the far right. Tried to come back to make the tackle and somehow got a hold of the quarterback Fuentes and pulled him down there about the 3-yard line. That was a first down pickup, though. They're going to say he stayed in bounds, so the clock runs at 8:19 left at the 4-yard line on the left hash. Fuentes underneath the center with a double slot, single setback. Taking his time on the little traditional snap, fakes the pitch, tries to hand it off. Bubble is fumbled forward in the end zone, and that might be an automatic touchback. The Eagles recover.
It is.
It will be Eagle football. He tried to fake the pitch and then got his hand kind of mangled up there a little bit, tried to hand it off still. I think the recovery towards the back of the end zone for the Eagles, I might be wrong on that, but it was in a big pile. Tristan Davis, the outside linebacker, and dodging a bullet for scoring for Roswell. The Eagles get the second turnover of the ball game against the Coyotes. Was an interception earlier and now a fumble. So Hobbs is going to have some big real estate to work with, but have the ball back at their own 20.
Yeah, but they, time is a factor, so they're going to have to run quickly. But yes, definitely a great defensive stop for Hobbs, and now they need to get some offensive movement going.
Eagle football at the 20, middle of the field. Twins right, receivers 2 to the left. Little delay here as they get ready for the snap. Handoff around the left end. They're going to do a reverse twice, a flip left or a reverse to the right side. And finally getting the football was Deshaun Franklin. Franklin gets ahead of the right hash coming from the left side of the field, and he's going to get, looks like, 2 yards for Franklin. And that's his first carry of the ball game. At the 23-yard line, make it the 22. Second down and 8 for the Eagles on the right hash this time. 7:35 left in the game, down 27-0. Trips left, receiver right. Back in shotgun, goes Beatty. Here comes a good snap, flicks it over the screen to the left side. Hawkes gets a block outside of the 25, tiptoeing up the sideline, but couldn't keep his momentum inside as he steps out. 70 yards they give him on this before he stepped out. Looks like 4 for Hawkes. And that's going to be for him his 7th catch of the ball game for 33 yards. And now 3rd down and 2 for the Eagles, and they definitely have to keep moving the momentum here and get this first down and continue down the field. Clock is not in their pocket at this point. 7:21 remaining.
Hawkes unable to cut it on the inside, tried to go on the outside, instead ran out of field, ran out of bounds as well.
12 completions for the Eagles on 18 attempts so far. 3rd down and 2 from the 28. Still in the Hobbs Eagle territory. Twins left, receiver right. Beatty waiting for the shotgun, gets a good snap, handoff, angle right, and met in the backfield and swallowed up very quickly. Saul Armendariz tried to head to the right side and met a big Roswell wall and paid the price there. He's lost a couple on that one.
Yeah, and now it's 4th and about 4 for the Hobbs Eagles. Definitely in 4-down territory. They have to go for it with this score.
And getting through there for Roswell that time was Noah Lynn. That's a defensive tackle and coach's son. And boy, the punting crew's coming out here. Down by 27, maybe a fake situation. That was a -2, by the way, for the Hobbs Eagle offense on that one. So we're going to have to wait and see if they possibly go with the fake on this one. But 6:38 left and ticking here in the 4th quarter. Take a little bit of time for Beatty to get the shotgun on the snap for the punt. He is the punter, of course. They made a man in motion right to left. Beatty's going to turn and punt from the 15. A wobbler is going to take a drop and roll out towards the Hobbs Eagles sideline on the left side about the 46. So not the distance he wanted to get on that one. He's been having some good rolls earlier in this game. They had 3 previous punts. That was number 4. But it's going to give Roswell the football in Hobbs territory, which is not where he wanted to have it.
No, it didn't. We were hoping for something different. However, at this point, it looks like it's just going to be, since we're in the 4th quarter, just go ahead and play as best you can, avoid any injuries, and just chalk it up as a loss and a learning lesson.
Hobbs came in with a 1-1 record. Roswell at 2-0. Clock with 6:23 remaining. No scoring since the halftime score of 27-0. 1st and 10 from the Hobbs 45. Roswell football on the right hash. Eagles have 4 in the box. Fuentes waiting for a shotgun snap. Well, a single slot right, receivers 2 to the left. Go at the handoff, across to the left now. And that's going to be maybe the line of scrimmage on the forward progress, if lucky. Bryce Sanchez, the fullback.
Actually gained about a yard, maybe half a yard, but either way, he did get beyond the line of scrimmage just barely.
Henry was in there, defensive lineman for the Eagles, coming over to make the help on that one. A bunch of black jerseys helping out. 2nd down and 9 now. Inside the 45 of the Eagles, closer to the right hash. Clock to 5:50 left in the ball game. Again, next week, it's the Battle of Lee County. Hobbs taking on the Lovington Wildcats here at Watson Stadium. 2 home games in a row. 6:45 pregame, kickoff at 7 on your no-mark broadcasting stations. We still haven't got a game score update on that Lovington game. Somebody could help us out with that at the station, please. Be appreciating that. Roswell getting ready for the snap again. Fuentes with one man behind him in the backfield. Man in motion from right to left. Fake the handoff. No, they do give it at the last second. Got me fake going to the right there. But getting the ball in the backfield and getting dropped, though, behind the line was Josh Estrada. So that's going to be a loss of 5 yards for Estrada.
Actually, we do have an update for the Lovington game. It did go into halftime. It was 56-7, so they're definitely going to be in mercy rule. In fact, one more score again with Lovington, and that will end the game. But that is at halftime. Once again, Lovington leading Santa Teresa 56-7.
3rd down and 15 for the Coyotes at the 50-yard line. Clock with 4:48 and ticking here in the fourth. 27-0 Roswell. Trips left, 2 receivers right. Hobbs has 4 on the front line defensively. Pressure coming on. Fuentes is going to get flushed out to the left, rolls to the 45, still behind the 50. Chucks it down the flag route to the 20, and there's a catch made. And that will be a first down pickup, 35 yards, make it 33. Kennard comes up with a big catch there.
And it definitely was a nice, tight spiral and an accurate throw.
Little flag, he was coming down the middle, then cut out towards the left and waiting for the football that time at the Eagle 18. That will be the 13th first down for the Coyotes. And the clock now at 4:17 and ticking here in the fourth. Roswell with up a 27-0 lead at this point.
And Hobbs just trying to slow him down, but unfortunately they got him down to 3 and out before that play, but unfortunately could not stop that pass.
And Roswell not taking a lot of time. They're getting up to that line pretty quickly to get the next play call. They want to add some more points. Twins right, receiver left for the Coyotes. Fuentes getting to the shotgun with the man behind. Bring a man in motion, the slot left to right. Delay handoff. We got a flag in the backfield. Looks like some procedure issues back there. Might have been some movement forward before the handoff there, before the snap came. Official had it in the backfield. The Whitecap, they're going to call the procedure penalty, 5 yards against Roswell. That will be their 3rd penalty the second half for 35 and a total of 57 overall on 6 penalties. That will back it up to the 23-yard line.
Yep, gets him out of the red zone.
First down and 15. 3:38 remaining here in the fourth. 27-0 Roswell. Of course, college football underway tomorrow. Some exciting games on the horizon. I know Texas Tech will be on the road at Wyoming, and I'm sure some fans will be tuning that one in as well. And some other contests, Ohio State and Indiana. First down and 15 for the Coyotes. They go with a twins right, slot right. Handoff up the gut. Sanchez 30, 25, 20, 15. Spun around and put down helicopter style at the 10. See, 9-yard line is going to be shy of the first down. About 14 yards that time for Sanchez. That's his biggest run of the night. He had a 13-yarder in the first half. So second and short, about a yard to go from the 9 of the Eagles on the left hash. Clock to 2:50 left in the game. And Roswell keeping the ball very much inside. They don't want to have any chance to go out of bounds and to stop the clock.
Exactly. They're just running it down or running it up the field, making sure no clock stoppage and no chance for Hobbs to get back into this.
Yeah, they pretty much manhandled the clock since the start of the halftime. And 2 receivers right, none to the left side. Fuentes is taking his time here to get the snap with 6 seconds on the field clock. Handoff again to Sanchez, angling right, cuts back to the middle, bounces off one defender. He's going to take a wall of Eagles to bring him down. Domino effect going on there in the middle.
Yeah, and it looked like one of the Hobbs players just took him on straight up, was able to slow him down, wasn't able to stop him completely because he did get around for maybe a yard or 2 extra.
Javen Hernandez, the DB for the Eagles up there, the sophomore, put his body on the line.
Yeah, that was Cameron Hernandez who did the initial stop on that play. So good job for both of Hernandez.
3-yard pickup for Sanchez on that carry for Roswell at the 5-yard line now. Just kind of letting the clock move away with 1:55 remaining. That was a first down, by the way. That's their 14th of the ball game for Roswell.
Yep. First and goal.
Single setback, double slot for the Coyotes. Fuentes going underneath the center now instead of the shot. Brings the slot in motion right to left. Give it back to Sanchez. Kind of rolls it out and coming across the line of scrimmage. Rounded out and into the end zone as he does get knocked down as he comes across the goal line. But that is a 4-yard touchdown run for Sanchez. His first score, or second score of the ball game. Well, actually 2 in the first half and 1 in the second for 3 TDs, all on the ground for Sanchez.
Yeah, and he was virtually untouched as he ran it in for that 5-yard gain. And definitely knows how to run, and I was afraid that would be something that would the Roswell Coyotes would be able to do.
So Sanchez scoring 3 times in this game. That was the first touchdown of the second half. The ball rolls on the snap. They've had some issues with the snaps and the PATs, but the kick is up, and it is good. 1:38 left in the game here at Watson Stadium as Roswell extends their lead. One shy of the mercy roll, 34-0 over the Hobbs Eagles. We'll take a 30-second break and come back live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, Cool 95.7's Facebook page, and, of course, on the radio, Cool 95.7. We're just past the 9 o'clock hour here at Watson Stadium. We're listening live to Hobbs Eagle football on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty friend Ron Gunner, Tiffany Stuber with you. An unfortunate home opener for the Hobbs Eagles, trailing 20 to make it 34-0 after a rushing touchdown for the Coyotes. That was Sanchez, his 3rd touchdown of the ball game. And the Eagles got to try to return this one. Had some issues with special teams, couple fumbles. They have recovered a few of those, but have also given up some on the punt return. Of course, Hobbs having issues with some interceptions to a total of 3. So 5 turnovers in the game for the Eagles and 4 punts. Ball's going to take a bounce at the 15, scooped up. Going to run around to the left side to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, 30, 35, cut it out 40, 45, and finally thrown down hard on the ground. That's Amarian Kennedy, as he comes back from the 15 all the way to about the 45, 48-yard line, 33-yard return, and somebody got him by the shoulders and just flung him down to the ground. I think the Roswell kid didn't want to see him score. That was Jacob Cedillo, the defensive end, to put him down to the turf. But Eagles with great field position with 1:29 remaining. They'll have it short of the 50-yard line at the 47, but they definitely got to move quickly on this offense to get something to get in the end zone. Twins left and right. Beatty back in shotgun. Armendariz behind him. Waiting for the shot. Beatty gets it. 3-step drop. And I think we might have a new quarterback in here. Pass down the near sideline. Overthrows on the out route.
It looks like it, yes.
It looks like that's Owen Callaway who stepped into the quarterback role, the backup here. Did play last year as a JV QB and a backup for the varsity. Incomplete on the first throw there, though. And he had his, the receiver got plastered between 2 defenders on this near left sideline. As took a big shot. I think that intended receiver for Hobbs was Deshaun Franklin. But back to the line of scrimmage go the Eagles, 2nd down and 10 from the 47-yard line at their side of the field. Twins left and right. Callaway takes a good snap, 3-step drop back to the 40, steps up in the pocket, throws the slant route down the middle. It's bobbled at the 30-yard line, juggled in the air by Jaquez. That ball was on the numbers. Good throw coming from Owen Callaway, and a little post route down the middle, and might have heard some footsteps behind him just a bit there.
Well, in any case, that could have been a very good first down. Plus, if he would have run just right, it could have been an easy touchdown.
So that was actually that was not Jaquez that time. It was 8 instead of 2. That was Amarian Kennedy incomplete. And it'll be Hobbs football now, 3rd down and 10 from their 48-yard line. The tip of the football just getting there with 1:24 remaining. Twins left and right. Callaway with the high snap, back to pass, a 2-step drop, bouncing around in the pocket, throws it down the middle, Seabrown caught the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, and the Eagles are in the end zone. That'll be a 52-yard pass play right down the middle of the seam again. Roswell not learning from their mistake on the last one, and into the end zone for the Eagles with the TD, Saul Armendariz.
Oh, and the E on Eagle is a little late, but yeah, it looked like another zone defense from the Roswell Coyotes, and once again, middle of the field, wide open, was able to hit him in stride, and that time, no drop ball, and all the way in for a touchdown.
Yeah, and lights up the crowd. They're getting really loud here with 1:14 remaining. You can expect an onside kick. And speaking of kicks, here's the PAT, and some good rush on him, but it's no good. They got the lights going off right before the play was done there, but the PAT, I guess they got the kick away just in time. No good off to the right just a bit. So Hobbs can't convert on the PAT.
Just like last week.
They do get on the scoreboard, though, with a 52-yard passing play to Saul Armendariz up the middle of the field to make it 34-6. 1:14 left in the 4th, and we're back in 30 seconds. Big touchdown pass for the Hobbs Eagles to get their first score of the game. 52-yarder from Owen Callaway, backup QB, to Saul Armendariz. Missed PAT, but the Eagles going to be kicking off here. Expect to see one low and sloppy out there. The Eagles want to get a possession back and a chance to get some more points if they can, as they right now would not like to go on a 2-game losing streak, but a little momentum here late. And, of course, Roswell going to have their good hands team way up on that line at the 50.
Yeah, it was well late, but that did only take about 20 seconds for Hobbs to get that nice fast score.
So here come the Eagles to kick from the 40. They're loading up the left side of the line here, so that's usually where you're going to kick when you see that, unless there's a little bit of misdirection. And they even got their kicker facing that left side. They're going to put some air on this one down the sideline right. It's caught and bobbled, and falling to the ground with it over the shoulder was Manuel Segala. I'm not sure if he misjudged it or just kind of was a zinger, but he's able to come down with it and flop his body down on the ground. Did not have any chance for anybody to come hit him and lose that football. But they'll have it at the 18. His knees are actually going back further than the football was that time, so they marked it down when the knees went down. Clock stopped with 1:12 left in the game, 34-6 Roswell. They could probably have a couple of kneel downs here, but the Hobbs Eagles are going to try to charge through that line the best they can to try to get something coughed up in case they do decide to run it before that. I don't think you can get all the clock run out here just with the kneel downs. We'll have to wait and see. And they're screaming over to Coach Lynn. There's a confusion out there in the huddle right now for Roswell. I don't know if they have enough personnel or wrong people in there. They're going to have to call a timeout. Not the way they went into ball game. So confusion in the huddle for Roswell. They're going to march to the sideline and talk to Coach Lynn. And we'll keep it right here. And Ron, next week, of course, that means Lovington getting their first win on the road there at Santa Teresa, blowing out that road trip there tonight. I'm going to come back to Hobbs with their first win of the season. Both teams will have the same record at 1-2.
Yeah, with the 58-7 over Santa Teresa. Of course, that game ended in the fourth quarter. Yeah, it's definitely going to be Lovington is going to be very feeling it as they come in on our homecoming to see if they can ruin our homecoming. We also had the final score over in Tatum, or actually it's in Tatum. Tatum wins after Lordsburg comes back, scores 46, but Tatum holds them off. 64-46 is the final. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting game next week. We've seen both sides where sometimes Lovington comes in and is able to play well. Other times Hobbs just dominates them. So, at this point, though, it looks like it could be an even matchup for Hobbs unless they can fix some of these mistakes that they've been making in this game.
Of course, Coach Gonzalez and the Wildcats winning a state championship just a couple of years ago. They're definitely a team that likes these Lee County rival matchups. A lot of people, kind of wonder how it benefits Hobbs to play them, but you definitely want to see the competition as the Wildcats, one of the best in the state in their division. So a final series of the game, unless the Eagles can get the recovery here. Roswell with a 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. They lead 34-6. There have been 2 scores here in the second half, one for Roswell and one for the Eagles.
Timeouts, all 3 do Hobbs have.
1 receiver right. They're going to bunch up 3 receivers near that left slot position. Now there's a time on the field here. And Roswell has to call another timeout here. Some confusion to get set. I'm not sure if that field clock might have been getting down to the end there, but Coach Lynn's going to call the troops over. We'll take a 30-second break, 34-6. Hobbs trailing Roswell. Come back with us in half a minute. Went ahead and called the penalty, delay a game on Roswell. They went ahead and still took the timeout, so a 5-yard mark off. They're going to hand off up the middle and to run the clock at 1:08 remaining. Still up 34-6 over the Eagles. Might have got a new running back in there just on that one. Looks like Godoy. Godoy gets up for about a yard on the play that time. That'll be his 6th carry for 15 yards. And 2nd down and 12 now for the Coyotes at their own 16. Underneath a minute to go, 45 seconds remaining for the Coyotes, as they could have a couple of kneel downs here to finish up. They'll go back to shotgun. Kind of surprising when to do that. A chance for a botched snap. Fuentes waiting for that shotgun snap. Pitching left. Little sweep going on as Godoy gets spun around and brought down at the 20. About 3 yards for Godoy.
And for Gadea, he's actually a junior, so you're going to see him next year as well. And if he's going to be improving like he has during these games, it looks like it's going to be very threatening. But that looks like that's the end of the game.
They won't even have to get another playoff as both teams are exiting the field, getting in their handshake line as we wait for the final seconds to tick off here, and that will do it at Watson Stadium. So the home opener unfortunately spoiled by the Coyotes from Roswell, 34-6 over your Hobbs Eagles. We will take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on the Hobbs Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Back live here at Watson Stadium, the Hobbs Eagle postgame show, live on Cool 95.7 Radio, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Hobbs Cool 95.7 Facebook page, all three on the internet. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you up here in the Watson Stadium press booth here, and Tiffany Stuber back at the station. And 34-6, the final. Roswell gets the win. Eagles drop to 1-2 on the season. And, of course, Roswell going undefeated at this point, 3-0 with wins over Lovington, Santa Fe, and now tonight against the Hobbs Eagles. So, impressive win for Roswell, but a lot of gift wrapping going on here tonight. Some big-time turnovers for the Eagles, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and then not turnovers, but giveaways on balls, 4 punts. So right there you've got, 9 possessions that really give the ball back to Roswell and a chance to make something of it. And a few of them were in the red zone. I mean, a punt return went off a leg, ball rolls out of bounds, and the kid's chasing it, which you don't have to recover it. I mean, it's not like a kickoff return. Unfortunate mistake there, but it gave Roswell a deep possession on that one. And Hobbs tried to stop one early. It had a bunch of nice goal line stops, but again, the defense out on the field way too much tonight, and having to kind of suck it up. And it's a hot night too, so that doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah, exactly. And it looked like for Roswell, I'm sure they were thinking about deja vu, because last week against Santa Fe, they were getting the same kind of turnovers, being able to get short possessions for some scores. That's the reason why they had a big score at the end of that game. Also held them to 6. But, this Coyotes team, you got to hand it to them. They are opportunistic, and they can definitely take advantage of the turnovers when they need it. And definitely, in fact, this is one of the best games Roswell's played against Hobbs in a long time, at least since the last 20 or so years. 16-2, you say that this would be a win. They win like they get the blue moon. We had a blue moon just the other day. So this is, a once in a blue moon sort of thing.
So big win here. Didn't get to the mercy roll, though. Hobbs able to hold off on that, and we only had a couple of touchdowns, and both those coming in the fourth quarter in the second half. No scoring in the third. Roswell got one, and then Hobbs answered up with their score we'll get to in just a minute. Let's look at the Coyotes numbers first of all. The backfield coming for the rushing game. Bryce Sanchez, the fullback, 12 carries, 102 yards in this game. He had 3 touchdowns, very short ones, 1, 1, and 4. And again, just like Artesia's running back last week, he definitely was the go-to guy as this game progressed. Other rushers in this game, Godoy finished up with a total of 7 carries. He had 17 or make it 18 yards on those carries. Also, we had Fuentes, the quarterback, 11 carries for 25 yards. A couple other guys sprinkled in there. Mitchell, 1 for 15. Estrada was 1 for -1 in the game. So in terms of the total yardage, for the Roswell Coyotes, they finished up with 155 yards on the ground in this game. So some good numbers there for the visiting Roswell Coyotes. Going over to the other side of the coin for the passing game, they had a total of, looks like 8 receivers coming up with catches in this game. A lot of them just with 1 apiece, so pretty spread around the team in terms of the receiving core. But they did have a guy with a couple. That was Peyton Kennard. He had 2 for 48, including a 33-yarder in the second half. But after that, only one other guy got more than 1 catch, and that was, 2 catches. Malachi Mitchell, he's the tight end. He had 2 for 12. And just going down the list, let's see, Mitchell was 2 for 12. Estrada, number 22 on the field, Bryce Sanchez, the running back, he had 1 for 9. L.J. Macias had some big numbers tonight. He had that big touchdown catch for 66 in the second half and also had 1 for 24. So he finished up with a total of 80 yards on, 90 yards on 2 catches. Other than that, they had a couple other guys with catches. Manuel Segala, 1 for 6. And also one other guy that was Vigil ended up with 1 catch for 5 yards. Total passing tonight, 9 of 17 for 174. That off the arm of Fuentes here for Fuentes for Roswell. They had a total of 354 yards in this contest, and definitely manhandling the Eagles in terms of total production. A total of 14 first downs for the Coyotes. Started to pick up some different penalties there in the second half, so they finished with 7 for only 62 yards, though, so a little bit more than half a field in penalty yardage. So those are the numbers for the Roswell Coyotes. They did finish up with 2 turnovers, 2, a fumble, and an interception. For the Hobbs Eagles, kind of a quiet night offensively. They only got 41 yards in terms of rushing for Hobbs. In fact, Hawkes with 3 carries for 16. Also for the Eagles, it was Brock Beatty, the quarterback. He had 2 for 4 yards, all coming in the first half. The Eagles saw Armandaris with 8 carries for 21 yards, so kind of a quiet night for him. And one other guy with positive numbers, that was Deshaun Franklin. He had 1 carry for 2 yards. So 15 total running plays for the Eagles and just 41 yards of total offense rushing. For the offensive receiving core, top receiver one of the top receivers, Saul Armendariz, he had 3 catches for 73 yards. He was the one that had the 52-yard reception in the second half late for the only touchdown of the ball game, so he's got the top honors there. Also, it was Jeremiah Jaquez with 7 catches for 33 yards. His long was 8 in the second half. It was Amarian Kennedy with a catch for 5 yards and a total of 2 catches for Deshaun Franklin as he finished up with 10 yards in receptions for the Hobbs Eagle cause. So Hobbs managing to pick up a total of 121 yards in the air tonight for 162 total with that 41 on the ground. So 162 yards. They were 7 of 21 in the passing game, or 12 of 21 in the passing game throughout for the offense. And Hobbs ended up with 6 first downs compared again to 14 for Roswell. Hobbs had no penalties in the second half, 6 total in the first half for 55 yards. We mentioned the turnovers, a total of 5 of those, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and then also 4 punts in the contest. So turnovers definitely cost them. Pretty easy to see that on paper, Ron. Offense kind of sluggish tonight. Really didn't get any breakout plays except a big throw down the field, of course, to get the touchdown to Saul Armendariz in the second half. But other than that, kind of a gassy type of game for the Eagles, if you want to put it that way. But, again, the crowd was fired up as much as they could be for the military appreciation night and, of course, the first responders. And, again, thanks to everybody that helped that out here tonight. And, of course, the marching band, a nice halftime show as usual.
As always, they are always on point as far as being able to get the marching and the playing at the same time. You know, sometimes people can't even, like me, I barely can chew gum and walk at the same time. But both the band and Hobbs looks like they're giving a little improvements. I love the stance. Twice, actually, for the defense for Hobbs was able to stop or slow down the Roswell Coyotes and make some very big stops. Couldn't finish it off as far as the first time. But, look, they held their ground. They definitely were stacking it up in the middle. And they've got that going for them. So now they just got to work on some other things, especially with the penalties. They got, like you said, the second half, it was penalty-free. That is a good thing. I know Coach is going to say congratulations on that. At least you listen to me. But, you know, you've got to do this in the first one because that's exactly what happened last week. They had plenty of penalties in the first. They had maybe 1 in the second. And Hobbs had improved. But, you know, again, they got to work on every single aspect of the game, starting with Lovington next week.
34-6 the final here tonight. Roswell gets the win to go to 3-0 on the season. Eagles are now 1-2. Quickly, let's get some scores if you have any there. I know Tatum with a big win. Comeback, though, for Lordsburg. Lovington winning on the road tonight. And we should mention, of course, Jowl with the win over Hobbs JV last night.
Yes, indeed. Well, we had the once again, Tatum beating up on Lordsburg. Lordsburg actually came back at one point, was down, but ended up being a 64-46 final, while Lovington was able to mercy rule ending on that one, and that was in Santa Teresa. It was on the road. Final score was 58-7, and like I said, that was a mercy rule ending, something that Lovington hasn't done for this. That was their first time in the season. Of course, that was also, like I said, on the road.
So that pretty much wraps up Lee County football around the area. Next week, the Battle of Lee County, your Hobbs Eagles, will be back here at Watson Stadium to take on the Lovington Wildcats. 6:45 pregame and the kickoff at 7 o'clock. So definitely be here for that or listen to us on the radio. Do you have our sponsors for Hobbs Eagle football this season,
Yes,
Ron?
I do. Before I do that, I just remembered 40-19 was the final score yesterday over the Hobbs JV. I'd like to thank the following sponsors: Eastern New Mexico University, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline, Lee County State Bank, TDS, Forest Tire, ATEC Air Conditioning and Heating, Lasco Construction, First American Bank of Hobbs, and Divine Energy Services. Without you, we wouldn't be on the air or be able to get on the radio.
So, again, we will be back with you on Friday night, Battle of Lee County here at Watson Stadium, 6:45 start time on that one. And I'd like to thank Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Also for myself and Ron Gunner, we want to wish you a happy Labor Day weekend, and we will see you next week.